Okay, sure.
So, I may have hit this dude in the head under some not so great circumstances.
Yeah,
But
that was pretty fucked up.
but
Whoa.
but that was in the past. So we went back to town. We dealt with the whole uh, spooky house and the smugglers and how we cleared it out. And we had a long talk with Ida and the old sketchy werewolf man. Uh, Talked to them about potentially, taking on another job, stopping the old pirate ship, which it would probably work out in our favor. Uh, then we kind of left them and we went to a pretty shady tavern. Uh, Maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but they served a fine drink. And, we mingled a little, maybe learned some things, maybe uh, exposed some things, but you live and you learn. And the night kind of passed, and we separate our ways, and hopefully, the morning brings about a new day.
Okay. Yeah, it was. I felt like a lot transpired last session. That kind of sums it up pretty well. Go ahead and take DM inspiration for that. Yeah, when we left off, it was pretty late at night, so I just kind of assumed that everyone went their separate ways and sort of settled in for the night. Just so that I can recap and make sure I have all the information correct. Haxle, did you just stick around the empty net and crash there?
I did.
Okay. It was subhuman standards. So Toothless, you headed over to the Druids area. Is that correct?
That's correct. I think I would have hung out there the night.
All right, sounds good. To kind of give you, since that's a relatively new location for everybody, let's see. All right, that is known as the Sea Grove of Sylvanus. So let me see, which is run by a halfling druid by the name of Farron Castellar, and is location 29 on your map. So let me see. Yeah, okay. So I can show this to you real quick. And basically, Sylvanus is pretty well known. He was Sylvanus before a certain hot, super hot, mega hot deluxe high elf was Sylvanus.
I was gonna say, is this pre-Wrath of the Lich King or
this is like pre most of you were born. Was Sylvanus. He is known as the Forest Father. He is the god of nature, and he is considered the only god of wild nature and druids. Nowadays, there's also Maliki. So if you listen to them or read those Dritz Duerden books, you may have heard about that lady. She is also a forest deity, more affiliated with good guy foresty stuff and rangers and heroically defending the woodlands and teaming up with unicorns and all that hype stuff. This guy is more old school. This is like when druids used to have to be neutral. That was one of their class restrictions, is they could not take an alignment. They had to be true neutral. That's how old this guy is. Older than that even. So yeah, he is basically worshipped by people who understand that Saltmarsh is a wild place. And, it is surrounded on all sides by dangerous wilderness. The untamed coastline of the Sword Coast, as well as the salt marshes that give the town its name, which surround it on all sides. So it is a very dangerous place to live, and a big part of that danger is just the natural world. So it only would make sense that there is a large presence of druids in this sort of rural area, and that they work towards a balance between the town of Saltmarsh and the sentient neighbors that share the area with them, like the lizard folk and whatnot, and also just the natural creatures of the world. So, despite your late arrival, druids keep weird hours. Some say that they like to do like a 6 hour on, 6 hour off sort of thing, so that they can enjoy the 6 peak hours of night and the 6 peak hours of day. And yeah, so they see you and they greet you warmly, and they are always trying to foster a sense of peace between the people of Saltmarsh and its neighbors. And your reputation about town is one of a lizard folk who seems to be trying his best to sort of understand these strangers that live in Saltmarsh. So these people are supporters of you in that, and they are also trained in the same arts as you, as far as the druidic arts. So you guys share a common language, which is druidic, and yeah, so they're pretty pleased to see you there. So
Yeah, I'd just show up and drink and smoke a little bit and listen to them.
yeah, and they gladly kind of find you a nice mossy kind of glade to settle down in and get some sleep, sort of thing. And yeah, the main focus of these guys is they very much modern day druids. They try to keep an eye out for aberrations, so creatures from beyond the natural world. So it wasn't always a problem way back in the day, but in modern times it's become more and more of an issue. So they are always that is kind of the direction that they went with that. And this druid circle does have members who are also a part of the faction, the Emerald Enclave. Which I'll throw that up real quick if you are interested in reading this free brochure. So, all right, cool. So, you go and you do all that. All right, Skull, do you stay at the Empty Nets, or do you head back to your guild, your residence, your mercenaries guild?
No hope. Sorry. 1 second. I was hearing myself. Yeah. No, he's gonna stay there because that's where Ida said she would send her emissary to give them the gold, so he's gonna stay there.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Thogrum, I saw in roleplay that you and Alleria left for the night.
Yeah, so after a couple of drinks, he's gonna pretty much get up, and you can see that he's like visibly kind of like distraught as he like kind of walks out of the building to kind of like walk Alleria home, and then kind of like clear his head throughout the night, and then pretty much pass out at home.
Yeah, with you guys having residences in the town, I guess it'd be kind of cool to maybe mark on the map, like where do you guys, where would you picture yourselves living? So obviously the more affluent people live up here on this bluff, down in this area. It's where the real richy rich people are hanging out at. The poorest people, the absolute like slums, are over here in the top north area of the coastline, and then sort of the lower middle class are located over here near the bridge, and then sort of the middle class and upper middle class are kind of nestled in the heart of the town. So where would Thogrum probably set up?
He'd probably live like close to one of the piers, or like a central location of all the piers, and probably like a small shanty,
Okay.
someplace with like a kind of like a little like a mini forge set up, and to easily have access to ships in order for maintenance and things like that.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Let's see. Oh my gosh, spelling's so bad. There we go. All right, let me mark that just so I kind of have a general idea of which house to burn down when I need to burn down the house. So,
It's probably been burnt down before.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. If it's got a forge in it, yeah, no doubt. Oh man, hitting all the hotkeys tonight. Cool. All right, and Alleria, where with that kind of description, where would she be at? Are you like cozy next door neighbors sort of thing with Thagrum, or
Is Thagrum near the water? I don't want to be like near the water.
Maybe he's somewhere around here.
Yeah, that's actually where I was looking right there.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk her home, and then it's like, 10 feet to your house. And then it's like a Taylor Swift music video where she's got like a little notepad held up in the window. It says like good night or whatever. Okay.
Nice.
Cool. All right. I dig it. Okay. So.
Hey, Crash.
Yeah.
What's that link that you have with all of the spells for water spells?
What is it, or where is it? Or I guess
what was the link? Or where is the link?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta dig it out for you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought I brought it over to the new thing, but easiest way to do it would probably just be to get you the Google site, and then you could just bookmark the Google site. So hold on a second.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe I did bookmark that, now that I think of it.
Yeah, because that also tells you stuff about the town and whatnot that you could like reference without having to log into Roll20 and all that stuff. So, all right. So I'll post that into Roll20 and also post it over into Discord again. Just keep in mind with that, you want to open a new tab or you'll leave Roll20. So.
Okay.
All right, cool. So, a little bit, and then Tari, in roleplay, I saw that your character decided to kind of embrace her or their true self, their Sealy self, and kind of return to the water for a bit to sort of get their thoughts together, their what's next kind of thing, maybe process all these feelings of being in these two different worlds, the one above the sea and the one below the sea that you've left behind for so long.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So I a little bit of
and then I came back to sleep in the empty net.
Oh, okay.
In the room with Haxle or what and
Sure.
Skull, right?
Yeah, so that's the double, the room that had the two bunk beds. But now there's plenty of room because it seems like only two people are staying there. So yeah, you're able to sort of slip in. They keep long hours at the empty net, and as you come in, you see that the fighting is long done. The oil lamps are all turned down low, and you see that Kreb is just sort of playing something light on a lute. His heavily scarred hands still very dexterous, despite the numerous times it looks like they've been broken or just smashed. And he just gives you just a soft nod as you come in, and you see that most of the patrons have sort of passed out at their tables, or kind of left for the night, or are just sort of quietly drinking that sad drinking that kicks in at like 3 a.m. when everyone's left and you're like, I'm still here drinking, and what am I doing with my life? That kind of drinking.
I want to look kind of suss out his posture and everything and see if it would be appropriate for me to join him for a little bit, just kind of join in very quietly.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check. Yeah, Kreb seems to be an incredibly sad person. So without anybody to entertain with his sort of douchebaggy persona, he is just sort of he kind of gives you the feeling of a sheepdog keeping watch over its flock. Like he's sort of playing this music as much for himself as he is for the sad patrons who have nowhere else to go. and it's definitely a different side of the coin to the boisterous, rude, almost callous individual that was running things earlier.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll sit down with him and I'll just kind of play harmony to whatever he's playing and just make it like a little less minor than what he was going for. Just try to kind of like make eye contact with people who are willing to make it and just sort of try to imbue the room with like a slight air of more happiness than he was able to do on
go
his
ahead
own.
and give me a performance with advantage since the two of you are working together. Oh wow. Yeah, so he kind of looks up at you as you start playing, and you see that his eyes, they're kind of glistening a little bit. And he just he gives you what might be the only real smile you think that he's made all night. And he changes the tune a bit to try to match yours. And you can feel the mood of the place kind of lift just a bit. But you do notice that your music, whether through your continuing talents that seem to grow ever more rapidly, maybe an infusion of Seelie magic that might be starting to kind of bleed out into your performances. But yeah, it has an effect. There are people that they sob a little bit harder than they were before, but you can kind of tell that it's it's like leading towards something good rather than just wallowing. It's more like getting the
Redemptive.
bad getting the bad feels out. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah. And so he just gives you an appreciative nod and sort of just matches that melody with you and says nothing. He just sort of sits and plays with you. Gosh, late into the morning hours, if you are willing, before finally excusing himself to the back room at about 4 a.m.
Yeah, I'll play with him until he leaves and then gracefully make my exit also.
All right. And as he leaves to the back room, you see a very tired, very emo looking teenager is kind of wiping sleep from their eyes, and they come out, and it's like a young man, not yet ready to shave, long scruffy hair. He just sort of pulls the stool up and just kind of leans on the bar, half awake. And apparently he is in charge of the morning shift, essentially, to make sure nothing gets stolen and everybody gets out of there when they're supposed to and all that jazz. So, all right, so you head to bed.
Yeah.
All right. So, one last matter of a little level up bookkeeping here. Alleria, as you are preparing to sleep, you take the notepad down from the window, like, because Swift video, and you make sure that Thogram actually goes into his house and doesn't drunkenly wander off down the street and get hit by a carriage or something. And as you're getting ready to kind of settle in, you hear like just the weirdest sound from outside of your window. It sounds like an oversized like goose, like making like just a horrible and kind of plaintive sound, like a kind of sound. And it is so pitiful to hear, and it's so unusual. You do know a lot about animals, but like it's the weirdest sound you've heard in a long time.
I would definitely go look to see what it is.
Okay. So are you in your pajamas with unicorn bunny slippers, or are you actually like still like changing into night mode kind of thing?
I'd be like changing into night.
Okay. So you kind of make your way back outside, and you kind of listen. Your elven senses kind of picking up everything they can hear. You hear bats going about their business. You hear rats going about their business. You hear cats. Oh man, we're starting to sound like Dr. Seuss people here. But you keep training your ears to hear that same sound again, and you do. You hear the sort of that, and it seems to be coming from down by the water.
Okay, I'll go down by the water.
All right.
Sounds so sad.
Yeah, so as you go down by the water, you see a large, mostly round form that is sort of stuck in some fishing nets. And it has somehow made it this far ashore, but the nets are caught on the undersides of the dock, and it can't seem to get out of them. It can't seem to get to shore. It's just sort of trapped there. In the darkness, it just looks like a big black ball of beast. You're not exactly sure what you're looking at. As you kind of squint and look a little bit closer, it looks like it has two ginormous white eyes that are completely pupilless, and a mouth just full of sharp teeth. It is a bizarre creature, to say the least. You can give me a knowledge nature check to see if you identify it, but it is not from this region, so it would be a pretty high DC.
It's a beast.
It is a beast. Yep. Oh wow. Your heart kind of begins beating like really fast in your chest. You have only ever seen a picture of this in books. You have never seen one in person. But this is a whale hound. This is an extremely unusual and rare creature. They only come from the most northern reaches of Icingwind Dale, up in the Sea of Moving Ice. So like way, way, way up here on your map. Yeah, and the creature is medium sized, only about maybe six feet long, but easily you would say weighs 250 pounds.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, maybe more. And yeah, you see this thing just trapped in the fishing nets. And as you look closer, you realize that its eyes are not white. Those are markings by its eyes. Yeah.
Going to very slowly approach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna stealth, or are you just gonna move up so that it knows you're coming?
I'm gonna move up so it knows I'm coming.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the creature kind of turns its head to you, and you thought at first that, being a wild creature and all that, even though you are a wood elf and a trained ranger, you at least thought it would startle a little bit. But the creature just looks at you with an eagerness that like a domesticated puppy might look at someone, which is sort of a clue that maybe this creature is acclimated to humanoids, because it just opens its big, like, derpy mouth and just kind of makes a happy sort of honking noise at you as you approach.
Oh, my heart. Yeah, I'll try to cut it out.
Okay.
Very slowly, so that way I don't want to scare him.
Yeah, it is not scared of you at all. As you approach, it is just honking more and more excitedly, to the point that you almost worry that it will attract attention. It is honking so loudly.
Okay, I'll quicken my cutting.
Okay. Yeah, as the creature is able to kind of pull itself free, you realize it is quite strong, and it kind of just floats buoyantly in the water thanks to its thick layers of fat, and it just looks up at you, and it's just like those pictures people post of like pit bulls to remind you that pit bulls aren't going to kill you. It's just like got these two beady eyes that are just looking right at you, like you are my glob, you are everything. And it just makes sort of a honk sound, and this massive pink tongue comes out and just licks all up your front and your face.
Oh my gosh, I feel so much joy. I'll just kind of grab the sides of its, face and start scritching.
Oh yeah. All right. Give me a handle animals check with advantage. All right. Yeah. As you do, it kind of lets out a wincing kind of sound, like as you go to scratch it, and you see that it does bear some injuries. There's a lot of bruises and a lot of sort of bumps and scratches that it seems to have suffered.
Can I actually cast Cure Beast on it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, receiving this healing from you, being rescued by you, you have effectively fed the stray. So it has sort of kind of floated towards the shore with you, and as it gets onto the shore, you realize, yeah, this is a big creature. Yeah, it's not large yet, but it is pushing the limits of medium size. It is a big boy or girl. I'm not really sure. I don't all its parts are on the inside. But yeah, it just kind of like moves up and it leans against you like cows like to do, and it just kind of pushes that whole 250 pounds of weight against you as it does, and it just sort of lets out a low, relieved sort of sound.
I think I would probably end up sleeping on the beach with it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
And
Yeah, it's spring. The weather's nice. So yeah, you settle in, and the creature is relieved. Whale hounds, as you know, are social animals. They travel in packs, sort of like wolves. I think they call them pods, something like that. But yeah, they're definitely group animals, and so to see this little one this far south all by itself does raise a lot of questions, but it seems to have gone through quite an ordeal. And so as you sort of comfort it and pat it, and it realizes that you are not going anywhere, half in and half out of the lapping waves along the shoreline, it just falls asleep. And it snores through its blowhole. So, yeah. All right. So I guess that is your beast companion. So
Yay!
yeah, there you go. You should have access to its character sheet and should be able to rename it if you so desire.
Okay.
Yeah. So how this works is I'm going to move it to the characters folder, so it'll be easier for you to find. And then you can also, just like any other thing, you can let's see, where the hell did it go? I moved it to adventures. Oh wow, it like disappeared on me. Just like any other miniature, you can hold down Alt and double click it, and it will open the character sheet for it.
Okay.
And then you should be able to do all the things that you need to do with it. So cool.
Thank you.
Yep. So you are set up and ready to go. Oh, what a cute name. Got it. All right. Let me move it up to the characters folder. Let's see. All right. So with that, everybody finishes their night early in the morning. So Tari has not had a lot of chance to sleep. Maybe not the others either. A knock comes to the door of the double. Door being a very loose term because it's it's not great. But yeah, those of you inside the room, that would be Skull, Tari, and Haxle. You all have pretty good senses. So yeah, you are roused from your slumber as you hear sort of a knock on the door.
Go away.
Hey, I would, sir, but there was a messenger. They said it was important, and they dropped this off for you. And I think it's a whole mess of coin, and I don't feel so comfortable holding on to it myself.
I opened the door immediately.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a chest, and inside the chest is bags of coin, sir.
Oh, great, thank you. Great, thank you.
And there's also some papers that came with it.
I'm gonna look back and ask if anybody has a couple copper we could toss this kid.
Yeah. Let me see. Sorry.
Oh, I ain't the messenger, sir. I work for Mr. Shanker.
He's
The-
All right, who dropped this off? Do you know?
It was kind of a burly fella. He said he was in a big hurry, though. He would come back for the signed copy later.
Okay.
Hmm.
Did you
Well,
leave a
can
name?
I still give you a silver for your trouble?
Oh, I mean, sure. I'd take free money.
All right. Well, thank you. What's your name again?
They just call me Mouse.
Well, pleased to meet you, Mouse. Good night then. Thank you.
I'm not going to be the one to tell you. Okay. Good night, ma'am.
Oh, well, hold up. All right. Not to be the
And
one.
you do see the painful hint of sunrise peeking through some of the loose boards that make up the walls of this establishment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good day. Good day, then.
Hi. We don't really normally serve breakfast, but there's stale bread if you'd like some, and leftover meatloaf.
Thanks. I'll avail myself of that after I've had a few more winks.
All right, and he kind of heads back out, and you see that he is just cleaning up all the barf and blood that he can from last night, just enough so that the regulars won't finally realize how disgusting this place is and leave. It seems to be a pretty horrible job, basically. Yeah, so as you kind of close the door, you do see that there is a chest. In the chest are, in fact, 6 bags, and each bag contains the coinage for your reward, as the discussion was made. Correct? Since you guys talked it up so much, and they increased the payments quite a bit. The contract itself.
I do my best to go back to sleep as soon as possible.
All right. Do you cast sleep on yourself? Because that'd be the easiest way to do it.
I cannot cast sleep on myself.
Oh, okay. So you kind of hop back into the bed and you try to get yourself back to sleep. So while you were doing that, Haxle, it seems like everything is in order. The funds were paid out in platinum, so it's not nearly as impressive as it sounds. Because of course, 1 platinum piece is the equivalent of 10 gold. So 50 gold in platinum is simply a very small pouch with 5 coins in it.
5. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is the coin situation. So it's not a big old treasure chest. It's like a small chest. And then just big enough to hold some scrolls and some small sacks of coins. And the scrolls themselves basically say that you have been hired to track down the remaining members of the Scarlet Brotherhood and the ship that they are using to run their smuggling operation, and essentially close down this operation for good. Underlined many times is discretion is of the utmost importance. So apparently that was really important to Ida when she wrote up this document. So discretion is of the utmost importance.
Oh man.
Yeah, but basically, the terms that were outlined before are listed in the contract. They are willing to essentially pay you guys what they've already paid you again. So they're willing to pay you 50 gold apiece or 300 gold to the group. And if you happen to become the new owners of this ship, they will take care of any sort of registration fees, dock fees, that sort of thing, to make sure that the ship is yours without a fuss, or they are willing to forego payments and assist you with the expenses associated with becoming legal owners of the house that crawls.
Okay.
Yeah. So reward to be chosen upon completion of assigned task.
Okay. Haxle's going to take that contract. I think that required a signature, didn't it?
Yes, there are two copies of it.
Okay.
You can see that one is in one handwriting and one seems to be in another handwriting. So likely a scribe created the duplicate. Yeah.
All right, and that was Toothless had to sign it, or does it? Can anyone?
Back in third edition, there was a cantrip that used to do that, but they phased it out of the game. Good old photocopy cantrip.
Okay, so can anyone sign that, or does Toothless need to sign that one?
Honestly, I don't think they don't think Toothless knows how to read and write. At that point, they were just kind of going along with whatevs. So I think it's really just, I think they'd probably like everybody to sign it. You're not 100% sure what the protocol is. You're not a guy that normally operates within legal limits, but you are a guy that understands how legality and stuff like that works. And from your experience, Mo signatures is Mo better.
So I will draw my finest looking X.
Okay.
Onto the contract and pass it around. I'll take the other copy and I'll put it in a higher pocket in my jacket.
Okay.
And I'll take the remaining 3 bags of silver and hide them in other pockets in my jacket.
All right, sounds good.
How are we doing coin? Do we have to go to a bank to break these?
I mean, it's definitely the equivalent when you have platinum of trying to pay with like a 50. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So you're not going to be able to buy no meat pies from like a street vendor with a platinum piece. So yeah, you could go and try to exchange it. There are shops that exchange money. As far as a proper bank, the dwarven mining union has sort of been providing that function, which is kind of interesting. So that they're the closest thing to a actual bank that the town has. There is the town council hall. They might be able to change quote unquote big bills for you. Yeah. So mining company headquarters or the council hall are both possible locations where you can get your money exchanged.
Sounds good. I'll ask the other members to sign that are there to sign if they're awake.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Old Bones as he gets up from underneath 16 backpacks. Comes over to sign the paper. He'll sign it in Draconic.
Is that like a Dragonborn thing? Like you built like a nest of loot and then kind of slept in it?
No.
Nice.
All right, sweet.
It's just not gold yet. He'll turn into gold.
Yeah.
That's stereotyping dragons. It's stereotyping as well.
I was actually celebrating his cultural differences. I do my my employee trainings every year at my day job. What are you talking about? All right, so while you guys are doing that, Toothless, internal clock. Well, is Toothless the kind of gator that has, or crocodile that has an internal clock, or do you just snooze late? Like, what's the situation here?
No, I think he'd wake up early to get his first smoke in, and then I think he'd begin to be like, yeah, I should probably touch base with the crew and head back to the inn tavern thing.
Okay. All right. Do you walk, or do you just walk on over to the Kingfisher River and just swim over to the empty net?
Oh, I would definitely swim. It always feels
Okay.
good to get your skin a little wet.
All right. Yeah. So you cross the road and just walk straight into the river, and then go into crocodile mode. Start swimming towards the empty net. All right.
The backstroke, yes, the backstroke.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Yeah, it gets a couple of cries of alarm from people. They're not strange to seeing crocodiles, which are very, very common in this area. And one of the main reasons people don't swim in the river. But seeing a lizard folk is a little more exciting. So yeah, it does kind of, some of the early morning people that are out doing their stuff kind of, point like, that being said, Thogrum, is Thogrum an early riser? I can't imagine that he wouldn't be, but is he?
No, yeah, he'd have been up already.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you are up and doing your biz. On the beach, Alleria, would you and Spencer sleep in, or would you kind of wake with the rising sun, sort of thing?
I think we would wake with the
Okay.
rising sun.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely you wake and you just see one of his eyes just sort of transfixed on you in sort of like adoration. Or
Hey there.
he kind of just like nuzzles against you and tries to go back to sleep.
Oh, no. We have to go. Come on. We have things that we need to do, and I need you to meet everyone.
All right. It kind of splishes and splashes a bit in the water and kind of gives a little honk of protest. But realizing that you are going to leave and not wanting you to leave without him, he rolls over onto his 4 tanky legs and gives himself a little stretch. And yeah, he kind of smacks his lips. He's very hungry, the hungry boys, and he does already smell the stinky smells of fish and sort of day-old fish being kind of collected for market, and that seems to be what his main focus is. So he begins to lumber his 250 pounds up some nearby wooden steps and kind of up onto the busy street where he sees a old man with a wheelbarrow full of fish, and he just starts picking up the pace.
Oh no.
Yeah, the old man sort of sleepily, he's got his like corncob pipe hanging out of his mouth. He like looks back, hearing like the sound of like galloping hooves. And it's not galloping hooves. It is some monstrosity from his deepest nightmares. Just a blob of black musculature and fat barreling towards him. He lets out a scream and begins
chasing after him.
Yeah, and he begins racing with his wheelbarrow down the cobblestone street, which is of course sending fish bouncing and flouncing out of the wheelbarrow, which Hungy Boy is snatching one by one out of the air as they fly past him. Thogrum, as you are going about your business and preparing for your morning routine, I'm assuming maybe you have like a cup of I don't know, whiskey tea or something, and you just kind of like giving it a sip as you look out the window and sort of see this go by your house, or
Yeah, he's kind of just like sitting in his window with like coffee and like pouring like a little bit of whiskey into it, and he, like scratching himself and like.
And he
takes a
spits.
sip of the
Does a
coffee
spit
and then,
take?
just watches this happen with Alleria, and then like takes another sip of his coffee, sets his coffee down, and then starts putting his clothes on.
okay. So Alleria, can you give me a animal handling check for me? With advantage because it is a beast. Yeah, okay. So he slows, and the man with the wheelbarrow, just weeping, just continues to go down the street, and he just crying out, "My halibut!" as he.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. I can pay you.
And yeah, he turns the corner and he is gone. Yeah, Spencer must have eaten probably 15 halibut by now, and
Spencer.
he looks famished though. He's still very hungry. So
He's-
you realize that feeding this guy is going to be, it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing that you're going to have to do because he eats a lot apparently, and he eats meat. He is a meat eater.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, if you're still hungry, I suppose we should probably get you some more food.
Yeah. Oh, he kind of just starts, kind of sniffing the air, and he sniffs with his 2 nostrils, but his blowhole's also moving. You're not sure what that's about. And yeah, there is a stray cat nearby.
No.
Yeah,
No.
he's eyeballing that stray cat, and he starts
No.
kind of shaking his rump, like shaking his hindquarters, like he's getting ready. But you sort of coax him down, and the cat, realizing that its life is in jeopardy, skedaddles. So you're dealing with all that this morning. Ree's getting her sleep. Toothless is swimming up to the empty nets. Thogrum, you seem like a dwarf of efficiency, so we'll assume you kind of get ready. And as you head out, you see that Alleria is just now sort of calming down this massive beast that is with her.
Dear, where did you come across that thing?
Well, you see, it was crying, and I actually found it by our houses last night. And just look at how adorable he is. I can't just leave him. He needs somebody.
Well, I got that, but, do you even know the first thing about taking care of him?
Yeah, so
Sure.
Thogrum, it has turned, and upon seeing you, its whole face area splits open like Pac-Man into like this massive mouth of like sharp teeth and a big pink tongue, and it's just this big smile ? And it lets loose like an excited honk, and it comes up and just starts kind of nosing against your midsection, just kind of rubbing up its face and nose against your midsection.
Oh, can we keep it?
Oh, of course, I want to keep it. Are you kidding me? I just need to feed him because he's actually pretty hungry. And do you think if I give you some gold, you can go buy some fish from the man that he just chased off?
Oh, yeah, I could do that. Look how cute he is. I mean, how can you not feed him?
Thank you. We'll be waiting right here for you.
I'm gonna kind of scratch underneath his chin, like, oh, that's a good, what do you call it?
I've named him Spencer.
Oh, what? How do you do, Spencer? And then I'm just gonna walk off to.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
you know the guy. He's old man Olaf Oliver. He works for the Fishmongers Guild. His rheumatism is too bad for him to really go out to sea anymore. So he basically just handles sales of yesterday's catch, basically. So all of the well-connected people get their fish directly from the Fishmongers Guild when it comes in fresh, and then most everybody else kind of has to get their fish like the next day situation after the best fish has been portioned out to the nobles and eateries and things like that. And yeah, so as you kind of head towards his setup in the market, he is already sort of telling the tale of the black beast of the bog. And like there are people gathered around, and he's just like,
You wouldn't believe it. A huge creature. Must have been the size of a jolly boat, and it was Had to be 1,500 pounds. This thing was like a mad bull chasing me down. And I look back and I think to myself, well, this is it. This is it, Olaf. It's over now. It's finally happened. Your luck has finally run out. Your bones ain't gonna be able to carry you to safety this time. But I guess old lady Timora was looking out for me because I was running faster than when I was a wee boy, and I was hitting them cobbles, and the fish was flouncing about, and I could hear its hungry jaws snapping and slavering behind me. And no, I didn't dare look back to see. I couldn't spare a single glance. And what when I turned the corner, I thought for sure it was over. But lo and behold, here I am. And everyone's just looking at him, and he's like, "What? It's true." And they're just like, "The black beast of the bog, eh?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was big. It was a big black beast. I'm assuming it came from the bog because, alliteration." And they're just like,
Olaf, you're telling stories again.
Thorgrim. Hey, I'm probably going to have to hit you up for some repairs on this here wheelbarrow. I was riding it pretty hard this morning on account of me having to run from the black beast of the bog. Have I told you yet? Perhaps I have. Let me start from the very beginning. This beast, it had to be the size of 2 jolly boats. Must have weighed at least 4,000 pounds. Had 2 mouths, it did.
You know that thing was no bigger than a kitty cat.
What?
I just finished petting it, and then you gotta kind of scratch it underneath the chin a little bit, and it'll love you to death.
Oh, people are listening in, and they kind of chuckle at this. And they, one of the women says,
You hear that, Olaf? It was just a cat. Guess your eyes are going just like your bones.
And Olaf looks a little downtrodden, a little crestfallen at this. So,
Olaf, I need some of your cheap fish. Not too old, maybe not so fresh. What do you got for me? I need to feed it to something.
he kind of eyes you speculatively, sure. And he's just like,
It weren't no cat. You're buying me fish to feed that creature.
All right, quiet it down, and I'll pay a little extra, okay? Just relax. I will kind of whisper it to him. You want to sell your fish or not? I mean,
no, I mean, if I could sell my fish, I'll have the rest of the day off. You want to buy all of it? If you're trying to feed that thing, I'm going to tell you, it's going to need a lot more than 1 or 2 fish.
So, how much money did Alleria give me?
I would have just given you my 10.
Oh, okay. Let me get. How much about 5 gold get me?
Oh, 5 gold. That'll get you. Yeah. Here, just take the rest of it. If you need to borrow the wheelbarrow, that's fine. Just leave it by your place. I'll pick it up.
Yeah, you know what? I'll even fix it for you before I return it.
You're a good neighbor. And he offers you his forearm and friendship.
Yeah, I'm gonna shake his hand pretty stoutly, and then kind of load up the cart with fish.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna kind of like giddily like run down the road, like, oh, he's gonna love it. Oh, I can't wait to feed him.
And with a wink, he says, "Oh well, I hope your cat likes the fish." Wink.
That's what I hear they do. So. Let's hope.
All right, and then Olaf begins to brag about how he's already sold most of his fish for the day, so they could suck it. They could suck raw eggs. All right. So you bring the fish back. He devours all of them. The hunger of this creature is limitless. To watch it eat is it's the kind of thing that a corrupt company might enslave this species and build a theme park around it, because it is that exciting to watch this thing eat.
Gosh.
So hey, they learned their lesson, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyways, so It is amazing. It's just like an extra dimensional space for fish. Like you just put the fish in and they just disappear. But like there's no limit. You just keep putting fish in and they keep disappearing. It's insane.
The shit
Goodness.
And
this thing is going to take.
I wonder
All
if
right.
maybe like could we pull a good berry inside the fish type of thing?
Ooh, that might be a smart move actually.
Maybe a less toothless for. Maybe
This
just
could
kind
be a
of-
situation like trying to feed a hobbit like landmas bread or whatever. Like one bite is supposed to last you all day. It's like I've eaten 3 loaves, that kind of situation. But you could certainly try. You could certainly try.
Okay.
It would probably curtail its hunger quite a bit, to be sure.
Okay.
After we feed the thing, I'm gonna talk to Alleria. I'm like, hey, I'm about to go back to the inn, and I kind of want to go find old Haxle and get that ring that we found, and I'd feel a lot better if we returned it.
I think that's actually a really good idea. I think we'll join you. Try at least.
All right. So
And I'm gonna
serendipitously, are you guys
cast
all
my
going
net,
to head back up to where you to the net, and then kind of go out together, or you want to handle this before you guys meet up?
Well, I would go meet up with Haxle because I think he's the one that was holding it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So you guys all head back to the empty net. It is dead quiet as you were there, and you do see across the street from the empty net there are some workers. The workers are just your average, like handymen around town kind of thing. Doing them odd jobs to make that money. But they're putting the final touches on a rather fancy sign. It has a black background. It has red lettering, bright red lettering, and it has a gold paint trim around it. And it seems to be advertising a new place of business. The name of which is, let's see. The Faithful Quartermasters of Joaquin. Yeah. So it is called the Faithful Quartermasters of Joaquin. So it's kind of a mouthful. So it's a big ass
Can you hear
sign.
me? Am I making noise?
Yeah,
It is.
we can
It
hear
is
you.
held. It is held up by 2 big old wooden pylons, like the same kind of pylons that they would use to build a dock. And that the sign says "Faithful Quartermasters of Joaquin." And you are a kind of a legend. Thogrim is a forge cleric and a dwarf, and a miracle worker of Gond. So these handymen all kind of recognize you, and they, hail and well met.
Hey boys, how are ya?
Oh, yeah, we're doing great. We just finished up some work here on this sign. We're just gonna do it last night, but we were worried about the rain. But it's supposed to be pretty clear today, so we thought we'd finish it up, get a couple coats of varnish on there. The boss lady, she wants it to quote unquote shine. So that's what we're gonna do to it.
I mean, if you were going for a sign that looks like children built it, then yeah, I guess you got it right. I'm just teasing you.
They all kind of make a sour face and kind of poo-poo at you with their middle fingers.
Yeah, well, you see, this sign was built with something we like to call hard work, Not everybody likes to magic their way out of every problem.
And they kind of nudge each other in the elbow like, damn, good dig, son. Good dig.
Hard work, fellas. Well, if you see any hard work around here, maybe you let me know. And I'll show it where a place where it can stay.
Oh, they like that one, yeah. So they all kind of boisterously laugh a little bit, and one of them tosses you a donut from their box of donuts. So,
Yeah, all right, fellas. We'll see you around, okay?
Well met. May the bitch queen keep you from her lair.
Well met, fellas.
All right, and of course they're referencing Umberlee, the evil deity of the oceans that everybody in Forgotten Realms is scared shitless of. So, yeah, she's like the Neptune of. Well, I guess she's even worse than Neptune. Yeah, she's bad. She's a bad bitch for sure.
Neptune's stepmother.
Yeah, like capital B, bad bitch. But it works. It works for her. I mean, every ship generally throws some money just out into the ocean when they go out to sea, just to make sure that they don't get attacked or sunk. So it's just a normal custom nowadays. That being said, there is a new religion in town, the Temple of Valkur, and that is trying to teach people, you don't have to be scared of the ocean. The ocean is there for you, and Valkur will keep you safe. So there's a little bit of a, I don't want to say that there's a contest at work, but there's the old beliefs of, fear of the old god, basically. And then there's sort of the, listen to this new god, he sounds really cool kind of deal. So, all right. He's kind of like Surfer Thor, Valkur. If you're looking for a, like, what is Valkur like? He's like Surfer Thor. All right. So you guys, I will add that new location to the map. It is location number 7, right across the street from the empty net. All right. So now you guys are all back at the empty net. You all meet up. There's a contract to sign. You guys read over the terms and agreements. It seems pretty straightforward. They've underlined 3 times that discretion is of the utmost importance. But essentially, they're looking for you to finish what you started as far as deal with these smugglers.
I'll sign it.
What's the plan, guys? All right, Toothless, you go ahead and sign it.
Yeah, he just draws like a picture of a tooth, I think, and that's his signature.
All right.
And then he like tries to hand Buddy a pen, and I don't know if Buddy signs it or not.
Yeah. So Buddy's got those little like dolly hands, so he's not really going to be able to hold it. He's got like the little flippers. You know what I'm saying? That have like the sewed fingers, like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
I'll like hold his hands together and just sign Buddy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's a tooth, there's Buddy, and there's an X. This is a very professional contract. All right. So and Skull, how did you sign? Did you actually sign it?
Yeah, I signed it. It would be in Draconic Runes, though, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, so that's kind of hype. Anyone else?
I do want to point out that the X is very stylish, because I've been to college now.
Okay. Oh, that's true. What college? Yeah, what college did you go to?
Lore college, because I'm good at reading and writing.
Oh, okay. Oh man, a lot of swirls on that. Yeah. No, that's terrible. Okay. Does everybody sign it? Also, what is the plan with your big boy? You can kind of hear the structural supports of the building putting in work to keep your guy up. Now, I mean, you hang out with the guy who wearing all his armor and carrying all his tools and equipment easily, weighs 250 or more. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, the introduction of this creature is going to change things, but I think it's just the newness of him and the bigness of him. It just makes you a little bit more aware, like that this place is an absolute piece of crap. The empty net. So, but yeah, he seems to be eating just anything he can find on the floor.
Oh gosh, don't eat that. That's disgusting.
Yeah,
I'll quickly sign and then usher him outside. Alleria Payne.
Yeah, stale vomit around his mouth. He looks up at you and just smiles real big. Honk!
Come on.
That honk kind of rouses like a couple of patrons that slept at their tables, and they kind of look around confused. All right, so you take him back outside. Yeah. Okay. He seems to be interested in eating the seagulls now, so he's sort of just chasing the seagulls down the dock.
No. We don't eat the seagulls. Come on, sit with me.
So inside, what are you guys gonna do next? You can hear Alleria trying to train this creature. Yeah.
Have I slept?
Unless you
Like, what
guys are
time is it?
trained, unless you guys are trained in nature, which the 2 bards, you guys are trained in all skills in the game. Unless you guys are trained in nature, I would say this creature is too unusual to be recognizable. But if you are trained in nature and would like to do a nature check, you can try to figure out what the hell that thing is that Alleria has following her around. Yeah. All right. Toothless. I would say this is not something you learned from the lizard folk, but more likely something that you learned from the druid circle. But yeah, it is a very rare creature from the Sea of Moving Ice, which is so far away from where you guys currently are. Just, again, you guys are Saltmarsh, Sea of Moving Ice, all the way up here, nice and Windale. So it's, you never thought that you would see that kind of creature, and it took you a moment to sort of go through your catalog of what the hells to be like, oh, on the bright side, Toothless, you can now turn into this creature now that you've seen it in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Haxle, unfortunately, has 16. The closest thing you can think of is a type of dolphin called like a killer whale. But you don't believe that they have legs, so maybe it's like an owl bear version of like a killer whale. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think Toothless would get like so distracted he would follow Alleria out,
Alright.
just to watch this thing.
Yeah. Okay. So you 3 are outside. Meanwhile, inside, what are the rest of you getting up to?
I'm just gonna sign with 2 Fs. Sign the letter
Okay.
with 2 Fs, and then ask. I put a lot of thought into yesterday. So yeah, just know that. Can we get that wedding ring and take it back? I'd like to take it to the spouse of that guard. The poor woman.
Yeah. Sure, we got to figure out who it was. The inscription said to Matilda Eternal, so I assume that was her name.
Yeah, I know who it belongs to. We just gotta find out where the spouse is. Hold on.
We also probably should get back though. I mean, I feel like getting the ship is. I don't know. I guess it comes at night if they're using lantern signals. So I guess we have time.
Yeah, I mean we can. How about we turn this in and then we can make it there before night, right? I mean we would have enough time to.
You guys have a ranger and a druid. So you basically have the 5th edition equivalent of fast travel. Yeah. So, unlike normal groups in 5th edition that don't have rangers, you guys definitely benefit in that way because I do try to honor the design of the ranger, which is basically to trivialize random encounters entirely. Whenever you're ready to travel, just keep in mind it will be much faster than a normal D&D party would.
With knowing the guard, Matilda Fisk, the one the ring came off of, it wouldn't take me long to find the spouse, significant other.
No, it shouldn't take too long. Let's see. I'm gonna bring up my big old note document. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Matilda. Man. Think about the early days when you had to use like a spiral bound notebook. You didn't have a control F. Oh my god. What a nightmare. I don't know how we managed. All right. Matilda Fisk is married to a woman named Irene. Irene is a seamstress.
So she shouldn't be too hard to find. There can't be too many like clothing shops. No.
Yeah. Oh no, she's not like a big shot. She like takes in people's clothes for repairs and mending and things like that. So she never made it big, as it were. She's not like running a dress shop or anything cool like that. So
All right. Well, let's say we go find. You said Irene was her name.
yeah.
I believe her spouse is an and Irene was a seamstress around here somewhere, and it shouldn't take us too long, less than an hour. We just go take it back and maybe help ease some pain.
Crash, have I managed to scratch out like a full rest by this point?
In your sketchbook? Wait,
No,
who's that?
sorry, this is Liz.
Three.
Yeah, this is Tari.
A full rest. Oh, I thought I
Yeah.
heard a forest. I was like,
A long rest. No.
sketch out a forest. I mean, I guess if you're drawing in your sketchbook, but you've had a lot to do. No.
Scratch out
Yeah,
a long rest. Yeah.
You are. I would say that they kind of left you alone, let you kind of like power nap it through. And the time you spent in your true form, like last night, was restful, and then you just add on like a 4-hour block of sleep there. So by the time everybody was done with their shenanigans and their morning activities and swimming in rivers and training, whale hounds and whatnot, you definitely managed to get the long rest like everybody else.
Cool. Yeah. I'd be happy to join you. I'm in full agreement with your mission to give this person a little bits of comfort in her time of extremity.
Yeah. I'm all for that. We should also try. Do you think we should try and figure out anything more about the Smilers?
Spencer.
The who?
The
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got it now.
The Smiling Brotherhood or whatever. I mean, they got to have a contact in town.
Yeah. Do you want to split the party? And you can do some inquiries, or we could do it on the way. I don't know.
I mean, how long does it take from getting from one end of the town to the other? Crash? No.
Yeah, I mean, the town has roads, and you can see on the map that it's very small. Like the measurements here only go to the bar only goes to like 2,000 feet, so it's definitely not. Yeah, I would say to go, from one side of the town to the other, maybe not even an hour. Yeah, so. Because we'll like say 2,000's short of a mile. So yeah, like I think from the leap all the way to the wall is only about 4,000 feet. So yeah, the town's not even 2 miles across.
So, Crash, my background gives me down low.
Okay.
I'm acquainted with a network of smugglers who are willing to help you out of tight situations.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is there a group that I could like get some more info about these smugglers from?
Well,
you are literally standing in the place where your contact is, and that business goes down.
Okay.
Yeah.
just to
the
remind
empty net,
everyone,
yeah.
this is what he would do before he heads off to do his thing. You just remind everyone, this is what we know. We know that their ship is called the Sea Ghosts, and we know that they hang out, or they do business from the Kraken's teeth. That's what Chipper told us. I remember
The Kraken's teeth.
Kraken's teeth is where they do business. That's where their ship goes through there, wherever that is. So we need to find out information about where that is, and then even for more information about the Sea Ghost itself, which is the name of the ship.
Yeah, now as a smuggler, Haxle, you have heard of the Kraken's Teeth? It is a very dangerous collection of rocky outcroppings and basically like just igneous rock formations that just jut out of the ocean. And that is south of your current location and south of the house that crawls. But thinking about it, yeah, it would be, yeah, it would definitely be within, it would be within view of the house that crawls. Now that you think about it. So that's yeah, it would be a dangerous place for you to try to sail, but it would also be an amazing place if you were trying to keep a ship hidden.
Okay.
That's so we know. So if we find out any more information about them, their crew, their captain. I think he told us the captain's name, but I'm not 100%. So with that, he'll go and basically take care of all this selling of crap or equipment, and then he'll meet back with everyone else, or at the house they're going to. Because I imagine the market's just opening up.
No.
Where the free market is.
Alrighty. So you're gonna head off and do that. The rest of the group, are you going to return this ring?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Haxle, are you gonna stick around and wait for Shanker to wake up and see if you can actually get some information about the
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna wait around for him to wake up and ask him about the sea ghost, or are you just gonna demand that he wake up and kind of like what's the plan? You gonna wait him out, or are you gonna see if you can get somebody to rouse him?
I'll wait him out a little bit.
Okay.
And I'll just
All right.
tell some sea stories or something, or play a tune, tunes around.
Okay, so you're gonna wait for that and sort of continue to work on your lore training, which is to say that as soon as they leave, you get your nerd glasses out and your pocket protector and your college textbooks, and you just completely transform like Superman back into Clark Kent, and you just start, filling that fat brain with lore.
Yeah,
Lore bard.
I've got that book on the magical properties of gems. I'll keep reading some.
Okay. Sweet. Now the rest of you, Alleria, Toothless, and Spencer, are you going to join Thogrum and Tari as they go to return the ring?
I think Toothless would have, like, as he was kind of coming out of the inn area, would have gone up to Alleria and been like, "Well, that's a interesting friend. Where'd you find him or her?"
Well, I actually found him out on the beach last night.
Oh, that's I've only ever seen those in books.
Yeah.
It looks hungry. Would it like a little bite, maybe from I think I have maybe a fish from coming down the river and maybe a little berry.
Oh my gosh, that would be actually so delightful if we could see if that would work. Thank you.
So Toothless will put like a berry like in a fish's mouth, and then he'll kind of like walk up and be like, "Ah, yes," and he'll kind of like try and rub snouts with this guy because he likes rubbing snouts. If that works.
Oh yeah, yeah. It just licks all over you. It has no. It doesn't seem to have any sort of like basic instinct for survival. Like it like sees your big toothy like crocodile face, and it doesn't look at you any differently than it was looking at Thogrum or Alleria. And I think, Toothless, that kind of might touch your heart a little bit.
It does.
Dealing with all the looks that you get all the time from the people of Saltmarsh, who very much like colonial America dealing with like Native Americans kind of thing. Like very much like the people of Saltmarsh are like, oh, it's one of those lizard folk kind of thing. We're supposed to let them into the town, but you can't trust them. Whereas this thing just yeah, it gives you the same look of absolute love and adoration that it had for Alleria. It just gives you a big happy honk and just starts licking your scaly snoot.
Yeah, he like puts a hand out to see where it would like to get scratched, scratches it there, and then hands it the fish with the good berry in it.
Yeah. Now, as it eats the fish with the good berry, a miracle happens. There's sort of a gurgling sound from deep down inside of the creature, and it closes its eyes for a second, and it seems sated.
Oh my goodness. Toothless, thank you.
Toothless gives it like a big hug around its like big snout, and then yeah, he would totally follow the rest of the party to this house we're going to.
Okay.
I'll do the same. I don't really want to take him to the market, but can I actually, excuse me, Skull, can I give you some gold to buy me some crossbow bolts, please?
Yeah, he'll slowly turn around. Sure.
Thank you so much. And I'm just going to give him 5 gold and then start walking with the group.
Could you, if we're sending people out on excursions, would you mind picking me up a short sword?
Skull, are you running errands or?
I think he'll actually. Yeah, I don't want to let the party, I guess. In case something happens, he gets hit by a carriage, maybe.
Okay.
Let's have to make death saving throws. Yeah, actually, we'll tag along, actually, and then we'll probably go shopping together.
Okay, and then just all just pick up whatever you need at the same time. That's fine. Yeah, she
Yeah.
lives down by the market. Yeah, she lives down by the market anyways. So in the town of Saltmarsh, there are 2 different markets, which I think we've already talked about. But there is the marketplace, which is area 15. There's also the green market, which is area 9. The green market is more like the farmer's market, but in a more old school traditional sense. Like you can't buy like bootleg Chinese DVDs and things like that. But you could buy, this is where you would buy like vegetables, cranberries, other sorts of local produce, watercress, rice, things like that, livestock. This is definitely the more traditional like farmer's market. Whereas location 15 is more of an actual marketplace, the weekly market, and that's where you can buy. I guess I haven't shown you these yet. All right, so the weekly market is more like a bazaar where you could buy all sorts of crazy stuff. The weekly market basically has anything that you need from the player's handbook up to 150 gold piece price limit. So they don't have items that cost more than 150 gold pieces. So no elephants, sorry. But yeah, they have, it's basically an easy way to be like, well, where would I buy this? Well, you would buy it from the weekly market. It is also the more popular place to buy fish is from this market. There is also the green market across the river, which is here. And the green market is, like I said, farmer's market. So eggs, cloth, trade goods, marsh plants, pottery, things like that can be found there. Now, within the the town proper, there are actual physical shops where you can, get more advanced sort of work done, like custom work. Like there is a renowned metal worker in the town named Mafira, and Mafira is from Chult, and she is set up in a place called the Dwarven Anvil, and this is a point of contention in the town, as Mafira is not a dwarf, and so there is some racial tensions there as far as her and her son and the work that they do out of this place and the name of the shop and cultural appropriation and all that jazz. Yeah, there's also a Carpenters Guild Hall, where like people who like the guys you met working on the sign might get work from and things like that. And there's a Mariners Guild Hall where the sailors and navigators and people who work the ocean. Then there's the fishmonger plants where they process all the catches that come in from the fishing boats. So again, there's a lot of like industry and commerce in the town, despite being very small. The town is very, very successful. It's a little pearl. It's a little pearl. It is it's a good town. So he says before he burns it down. Okay, so
Yep.
yeah. So anyways, she lives basically near the marketplace. So she lives in like one of these small ass little houses that's over here. So as you kind of head over, and Thogrum, you kind of rack your brains to sort of remember where she lives. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
It's gotta be a good one. Just straight intelligence.
Yep. Yeah. You surprise even yourself because I don't even know if you've ever been over there. But you might have like heard her mention like, oh yeah, I got a little place by the market, blah 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 blah. Like it's got a green door, purple flowers out front, that kind of thing. But yeah, you find the house.
I'm just gonna go up and knock on the door, kind of softly.
Okay, and there is a work shingle hung outside that indicates that you can get seamstress work done here. And so there's like a little bell you can ring if you wanted to.
Okay, I'll just ring the bell then.
All right, cool. So you ring the little bell, and there is some shuffling on the other side of the door, and a woman opens the door, and she looks like just a basic bitch human, and nothing to write home about. Here we go. Random peasant miniature number 3,
Becky or whatever they call.
She's a Becky, not yet a Karen. So there she is. And yeah, she answers the door, and she definitely looks even more tired than her miniature would suggest. She looks tired and distraught. And as she sees you, she rolls her own intelligence check, and she says, "Oh, Thogrum, it's good to see you. Do you need? It seems strange. Do you require? Oh my God, what is that?" As she sees Spencer.
Bit take.
Don't worry about him, dear. That's our kitty cat.
I mean, that's no cat. What is that? One of them dinosaurs from Chult? Are those even allowed?
Well, for now, I mean, it's not allowed, I guess.
Oh,
I got
okay.
A question. How long has it been since the guards had left originally?
Gosh, it's been like 3 days.
The guards left,
three or
so,
okay,
so
I think it's been 4 days now. Yeah, it's been 4 days.
Okay. Dear, would you mind going inside for a second and maybe we have a seat?
I mean, it's not very big. I don't know if I could fit your dinosaur.
That's okay. We don't want to mess anything up. We'll just have him kind of stay out here and.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's well, I mean, it's certainly come inside. And you see that she has a number of projects that she's working on, like seamstress work, and she's got it all nicely laid out and organized. But you can also see that she's been doing a lot of drinking. There's kind of evidence of that. And you can tell that even though there are more rooms in the house, she seems to have sort of set up camp in this main entry parlor. And this is not like a affluent home. Like Town Guard makes all right money, but it's one of those like we've got a main room with a kitchen attached, and we've got like a bedroom situation. So it's not a very big house. But she kind of motions for you guys to, I guess, find places to sit and stand. And she sits back down in her sewing chair, and she picks up her work, and kind of with shaky hands, kind of continues. And then she says, "Oh, I'm so rude. Did you need a drink or anything?"
No, dear. I think I'm fine. I don't know about my friends here.
I've just been a mess since Matilda's been away. There was some sort of assignment outside of town, and she hasn't come back, and they won't tell me anything when I go to check on her. So I don't know. I guess I'm being foolish, but I'm just worried.
Yeah, love. That's kind of why I'm here. Can you have a seat for me?
Okay. Yeah. So she sits back down in her chair.
And I'm gonna kind of pull the ring out of my pocket, and I'm gonna kind of like take her hand with one hand, and then kind of like set the ring in her pocket, or in her hand. I mean.
Yeah. As soon as you do, and she sees it, she just breaks and just begins sobbing.
Dear, I don't know how to tell you this, but Matilda, she didn't make it.
She didn't make it from what? What do you mean she didn't make it? Why would you have this?
So we found her body. I wish I could tell you more, but
oh no, did they find out? Is that what happened?
We're currently investigating it, and when you figure out some more, I promise you.
Why are you investigating it? Wait, did the guards do this?
Her and the guards she went on this mission with, a very, very hush hush. The three of them didn't make it. And it kind of just felt like you should have this.
Wait. Was she with Vossler and Balo?
I would have known that, yeah.
Yeah, I think you asked for the
yeah,
names of the missing guards, yeah.
Yeah, I believe she was, dear.
Wait. Is it... She kind of like looks over at the window. Is it safe for you to be telling me this?
For right now, you should maybe just hold off on any information. More will come about, but I just felt that it was right for you to know your wife's whereabouts.
Why
What
would
about
you
her
ask
body?
if it was safe?
You just have the ring. Is something wrong with her body? Can it not be buried?
Well, in due time, lass. And I'm gonna kind of pat her on the shoulder. In due time, it will be.
Where is it
you
now?
Have me word on it. It's currently being recovered.
I'm afraid to ask you any questions.
I promise you, dear, we'll be back, and I'll give you more answers when I can. But for now, just know that she died a hero's death.
And I'll try to sit down next to her and maybe hold her hand if that seems like something that would comfort her.
Go ahead and give me
say,
an insight check. Give me an insight check.
Yeah.
Yeah, this woman is terrified. She does not want anyone to come near her.
And also I'll try to be like as calm in my demeanor as I can, and I won't approach her or anything. And I'll say, honestly, you seem terrified, and I know that we're talking about the loss of your spouse, and that's devastating, obviously, but what did you mean it's safe to be asking questions? What is it? And I'll try to persuade her that I can promise you that we're safe. We're not from any of the... There seems to be something going on in this town, and we can't figure out exactly what it is, but I can promise you that I have your best interests at heart, and I don't really have a dog in this fight. I just want to know. I want to understand what's going on.
All right, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Can I cast guidance? Oh, never mind.
She kind of just breaks down and is crying, just like trembling, just shaking from the tears. And she says, I want to believe you, but I just don't. I don't think you need this kind of trouble.
Well, I can't bear to think that we'd be able to prevent another tragedy like this, and we wouldn't at least try. Knowledge kept to oneself is like a poison, and if you share it a bit, you might get a bit of respite yourself, and we might be able to help. I can't promise that we will, but I can promise that we'll try.
Yeah, she's full on ugly crying at this point, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm shedding like an empathetic tear here.
Yeah, she pushes her elvish cookie tin away, which only has sewing supplies in it, and she just kind of covers her face and is just kind of sobbing a little bit, and she's sort of clutching the ring in her left hand like really tight and kind of rubbing her knuckles against her temple as she does, and she kind of looks around the room at everyone that's assembled, and she says, "You say she died a hero. I don't know how that could be true."
Dear,
Why do you say that?
Yeah. Trust will bring, whoever to justice, but if you know something, please do us a favor and let us know. I don't mean to be getting
She
killed
said
for nothing.
she said she had to go and investigate something outside of town that the council had asked her to go and check it out. She and the two others, and I asked if her. I'm sorry. I asked if Captain Eleander knew about the assignment, and she assured me he did. But when I went and asked, about her, they acted like they didn't know anything.
It's kind of hush hush right now, but whenever we shut this thing down, dear, it should become more apparent, I guess.
And she didn't say anything else about what she'd been sent to investigate, or?
She just said that when she got back, it would be a big bonus, a payday like we hadn't seen before, that we'd be able to pay off some debts and eat red meat for a whole week. But I guess that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Just tell whoever you're working
say
for that I don't know anything, and that I won't know anything, and I know how to keep my mouth shut.
Of course you do. Can I tell whether she actually knows more that she's not saying?
Yeah, give me another insight check. Okay. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, this lady knows a lot that she's not letting out.
Okay.
Yeah, so before you continue, Toothless, kind of standing in the room as well, right? Or
No,
are you outside with Alleria
insane.
and Spencer?
no.
Yeah.
I went outside. I was afraid of reactions to dinos and such.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Haxle, are you standing off to the side?
I think I was hanging out at the bar.
Okay, you're
Oh.
gonna stay. Oh, that's right. You're sticking around the bar to wait for Shanker to wake up. Gotcha. So
Skull is with us.
yeah,
Yeah.
Thogrum and Skull. You've been quiet the whole time. You got anything?
No, I'm trying to process.
Okay.
Could I also well, we've already insight checked her a bunch of times. Could I try and insight what she's afraid of?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an insight check. Yeah. She is afraid that she is going to say something that will get her killed. That definitely seems to be. She seems to be guarding her words in a way that she is so afraid of saying the wrong thing. Is sort of the yeah, like she does not. She wants to trust Tari because Tari has been extremely kind to her, and she has probably said more to Tari than she ever intended to. But she definitely seems very guarded.
I'm gonna talk to her again, like, dear, you know you can trust old Thogrum, and if you ever need any help, I'll be right here for you. If you need anything fixed or repaired, you just ask old Thogrum and I'll help you. And you got to understand that if we weren't worth trusting, I might as well have not brought that ring back. Just sold it for a pretty penny. So just know that we can help make things right, but you got to talk to old Thogrum, okay?
And I'll say, yeah, I can vouch for him. I'll try to help him.
Okay.
He's
Yeah. So
He's got-
Thogrum, go ahead and give me a persuasion check, with advantage from Tari assisting. Okay.
That should be. Actually, hold on. Oh, okay, it does +3. So
Yeah, so she kind of sniffles a bit, and she says, yeah, I suppose I'll be needing to move into a group home, so perhaps I could put that dwarven strength of yours to good work, and you could help me when it's finally time to move my stuff. There shan't be much to move, but any help would be appreciated.
dear, I'd have no problem in helping you. And would I know how much, like, her mortgage or something, like how much she pays on, like?
Yeah,
what
like
the going
like
rate
a
would be?
little crappy, like essentially two-room house like this, by the noisy marketplace and the stinky fish tents and all that kind of stuff. She's probably trying to pull in, I don't know, maybe 12 gold a month to cover her property and rent, as it were, that kind of thing.
I'm just gonna pull out 12 gold and I'm just gonna give it to her. Like, there, you don't have to move anywhere. Okay, just stay right here. Take care of yourself and your affairs, and spend some time mourning your loved ones. Okay, and
She scrutinizes the money, and she kind of looks from the money to you, and like an animal that wants to take the food but is afraid to, she kind of reaches out and takes the money from you.
I'm gonna grab
and
her hand.
I'll
and
take
shake her.
out. Oh, go ahead.
What'd you say?
And I'm gonna grab her hand and shake her furiously. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm not gonna do that.
he's just kidding.
Tell me what you want to know.
I'll take out 12 gold as well and sort of put it into her hand and hold her hands and just like look into her eyes and try to like calm her, and say, we can keep you safe, but only if you help us. We're so blind, so infuriatingly blind, and we want to help, and we just don't know how. What can you tell us? And if I'm able to try to persuade her one last time, I would love to do that.
Yeah, one last time.
And I'll take if anybody was going to give me guidance on
I mean,
that.
I'll give her
That would
guidance
be the time.
as well as help her since we're basically
Oh,
doing this
Oof.
together.
Yeah. Her resolve has
Yeah.
kind of built up here. Yeah. So yeah,
Wait,
she
she wouldn't have advantage on this with me helping because since
I was gonna make it a regular roll because
Okay.
the extra money made her very paranoid. Like the 12 gold had already kind of made her like scared, and then to get another 12 on top of that, she's kind of panicking right now.
would I be
And
able to
she's-
tell that that's why she was?
Yeah,
down?
like you realize like that when
'Cause
you
I would
gave
say,
her
like,
that
this is-
extra money, it was like, oh God, I'm in a lot of trouble right now. Like that's kind of how.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she just says, I understand. I understand. I won't say nothing to nobody. And I will you will not have to worry about me ever again.
All right, dear. Well, we'll just I guess we'll leave you to it. Just remember if you need anything, just just call on old Dogram and I'll come help you out. Okay.
Okay, of course. I really should get back to it, to my work. So
Yeah, of course.
and she just kind of like looks at the ring in her hand and just starts kind of sobbing and kind of like sits back down in the chair, and you guys kind of see the door, you see your allies outside with Spencer. Yeah, it's very awkward. There's
Yeah.
like
Kinda like
it's like
just letting
24
go.
gold sitting on the end table. Yeah.
I'm just gonna touch like if there's anything broken in the immediate area. I'm just gonna kind of like walk by and like touch it, fix it,
Right.
and then like I'll make my way out.
And I'm gonna play
Alright.
a little bit of a song of rest, and also leave.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you
Not
guys
wrong.
head back out. Yeah, as you guys head back into the street, across town, yeah, the back door of the empty net opens, and Kreb Shanker comes out in just a robe and his unicorn bunny slippers, and he just kind of looks at you, Haxle, his robe completely undone, his fiery crotch on display, and he just he kind of blearily blinks at you, and he's like, "So you fucking live here now?"
Yeah, I stayed the night, gave you my voucher. You put me in that shithole room. Nice
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Oh, okay. I just most people don't stick around that long, They usually try to get back out into the fresh air and the real world for a bit, But what time is it, anyways? Ugh. I feel like I
It's early
just
still.
barely hit the 6-hour minimum.
Well, they say druids sleep in 6-hour shifts.
Is
So,
that what they
like,
say?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
What's going on?
I could use some information, pal. I could
Of
use
the
some
smiley
help.
sort?
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit last night, but and I kind of
I understand. It's a
gesture
little
over
bit
him.
more. It's a little bit more private right now. Hey, Mouse, make sure that nobody comes in. All right. And he gives Mouse a big smile. And Mouse just kind of nods quickly.
Yeah. So we heard about this ship, the Sea Ghost. Guess they hide over in the Kraken's teeth, and big time smuggling ship. Here's the thing, I want.
You want a ship? Is that what you're saying?
I want that ship. Got a pretty good name.
Yeah, what's the name of this ship?
The Sea Ghost.
Oh yeah, you. Oh, hey, you want some of this? And he offers you some baccaran. Baccaran is a pasty substance that sometimes dried and powdered and sometimes left as a paste. In its paste form, you put a little on your pinky and you rub it in the inside of your mouth. So it's drugs. He's basically doing drugs for breakfast. So
yeah, sure, let's do it.
okay. Yeah, he kind of wipes the glob. It's almost like toothpaste off of his finger onto your finger, and then he dabs another one from a tiny jar that he had in a pocket of his robe, and just kind of rubs it in the side of his mouth, and he immediately seems to be more relaxed.
Okay, I'll yeah, I'm not gonna do drugs.
So you're not going to do it then?
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, okay. So you gonna try to sleight of hand it? So I mean, this shit's expensive. I mean,
oh fuck it. I guess I already took it. So yeah, I'll do some drugs.
okay. Yeah, you feel stronger.
Just got out of college.
Yeah, you feel stronger. You feel stronger and wiser. But you do feel like you didn't notice that purple unicorn outside on the docks just like 2 minutes ago, but it's just sort of staring at you through the glass.
It's fucking limitless.
Am I like legit hallucinating, or is it?
Yeah. No, it's a hallucinogen. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask if this is if this came off the sea.
I mean, this is definitely something the Smilers would have to bring in. You know, it's a breakfast treat, my friend.
Whoa.
Yeah. And when he smiles at you, you see that there's like each of his teeth has its own little mouth that's smiling at you. Yeah, it's very unsettling. And he says, "So, sea ghost, you wanna fuck it hard and put a ring on it? Call it your sweet bitch for life, huh?"
Yeah. Could you shut your mouth just a little bit?
And he's as you say that, you look at him, and it's just like his head is just like a pair of dentures now. And he's like, "What do you mean, shut my mouth? I thought you were asking me questions."
Are you trying to eat me? What?
No, man. And he just kind of like playfully goes to like kind of like cat pat you on the face. But like each of his fingers has like a little like beautiful white smile at the end of the fingertips as he goes to kind of pat your face.
I start crying.
And he's like, "Hey, it is not so bad. Calm down. So, yeah, I mean, look, we have history, okay? And I might have gotten out of the game, and you might have lost the game. Let's be honest. You fucking lost the game, man. You lost hard. You lost really hard. You lost everything. It breaks my heart. It does. So yeah, I could tell you a little bit about this thing. You know what a Yonti is?
Haxle's just gonna stare completely wide-eyed.
He kind of waggles his fingers at you, and he's like, "Snake people, man." And you see that each of his fingers is like a snake.
The smiley fingers.
Yeah, the smiley fingers open their mouths, and then like snake heads come out of the open mouths of the fingertips.
Haxle hisses.
There you go. You've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the captain of this here vessel is a Yanti, fiery redhead. You might say I could respect, professional courtesy. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. But us redheads, whatever, we're badasses, I guess. Did you know that red hair is a mutation? It can be found in every species that has hair or fur. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Crazy.
so yeah, the captain, she's a Yanti. She can control snakes. So supposedly her ship is just like busting with poisonous snakes. So that's something to watch out for. What else? She's got a pretty sick crew. Most of her officers are ladies. They've got a whiz robe on the payroll, like any good ship worth its fucking salt does. And what else can I tell you? I can tell you there's a lot of people that want her dead. That's for sure. Apparently she's partnered up with some creepy demonology cults, the Blood Bros. And yeah, they are not the kind of people that you want to go pissing off. That's for sure. But the kind of people that want her taken out are the kind of people that you wouldn't mind making happy, but they're also the kind of people that you wouldn't want to go pissing off.
That image is fucking me up right now.
So, friend of Smiles, does that answer questions, or do you need something else?
I think so. I just yeah. When does this?
Now, here's the thing. From what I've heard, there Sigma. That's the snake lady's name. She's no fool, so she doesn't operate out of no known ports of call. So likely she's got a bunch of drops up and down the coast. More, reclusive areas, close enough to towns so as you get the benefits without so close that you would draw attention to yourself. But yeah, man, the shit that's been coming in lately, a lot of guns, a lot of drugs, a lot of contraband spell components, a lot of weird shit coming up from Schultz. It is, a lot of elven stuff for some reason. There's also been kind of a big interest in sea elf paraphernalia.
From the buyer or seller side?
Oh, buyers. Like, I don't. Just word is there's just a lot going on right now related to the sea. Like, so basically anything like sea elf or sea devil, like that kind of stuff, it's pretty easy to move right now.
Is there a particular buyer, or is it just?
Man, buyers go through buyers who go through buyers if they know what they're doing. Yeah.
All right. Is this Sea Ghost? Is this the biggest game in show in?
Oh, biggest show in town. It's let's just say it's the ship that we don't want in town.
All right.
But let me also put this out here, just completely frank for you. I know your name's not Frank. What a weird name. But let me put it out here for you. If you do succeed in what you're trying to do, and you make this ship your own, I hope you don't get the idea that Saltmarsh is the kind of town that you're going to get away with doing a lot of smuggling in.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to figure that out. I'm not sure my
Now,
not sure
if
my
you
teammates are.
were a team player, right, I think there could be a lot of opportunities for you. But the general word on the street is that you're not a team player. You're a team Haxle player. But if maybe Haxle could open himself up to better business opportunities, then I think maybe he could go from being a loser to being a pretty big winner.
That's great. Who wants me on their team?
Well, nobody wants you right now, but you came back here with a ship and a certain green-skinned redhead no longer a problem, and you were willing to not replace that problem with a new problem. You were willing to replace that problem with the magic of friendship. Oh, I think I could find you a lot of work, my friend. And he just smiles so big. Even his eyes are smiles.
Yeah, this guy's got smiles everywhere. All right. Yeah. Sounds good.
It does. It does. Man, you know,
Does he-
I need something solid for breakfast. And he pours himself some dwarven fire whiskey.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the morning off, I think. I'm gonna go back to my room. Hide.
Okay. And don't let the bed bugs bite you.
Why would you say that?
All right, so yeah. The effects of this drug last for
Oh boy.
5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. But during that time, your strength has increased, and so has your wisdom score.
Oh man. All right.
All right, so that was well done. You got some pretty good information there. So that brings us back to everybody else. Alleria, Toothless, Spencer. You guys just kind of hang out outside, just enjoying the absolute wonder and majesty that is Spencer, the whale hound. He sings to you with his honking Canadian goose-like sounds, and people kind of watch curiously and sort of marvel. And the general consensus is that he is a dinosaur. That seems to be what most people. You know, when you can't explain something, so you're just like, "Oh, I know what it is. It's a dinosaur," and then someone else is like, "That's definitely what it is." I don't need to make a knowledge nature check because this guy over here said it was a dinosaur. You know, basically communal stupidity, and ignorance kicks in, and he is now a dinosaur. So, and that seems to just kind of calm everybody down because even though a dinosaur is a very scary thing, it is a known quantity at least. So, there you go.
Okay.
All right. So your friends exit the house. I think they might look a little morose. I don't know. Probably not happy. But now you guys are all together outside of her home.
What happened in there? How did it go?
You were just gonna tell him everything that happened, kind of short and
Oh.
sweet. Like we didn't
All
get
right.
everything.
Yeah.
And we should probably just continue on and.
Yeah, Toothless. It's a very confusing series of events. As a secret human anthropologist, I would assume that you find the whole
Exactly.
thing. Yeah, you find it very fascinating. But man, did they really get emotional about some weird shit? So it was, you know, yeah. But there you go. You guys, what do you do now?
There's definitely a much larger game being played here.
Should we go find Haxle?
Yeah, I think we need to go find Haxle and then deal with this.
Didn't Skull want to do some shopping? Or
Yeah,
selling?
Oh,
this
yeah.
would definitely be the time to do it. You're right by the marketplace. This
Yeah.
would be a good time for you guys to just say, "We buy the stuff," and I'm like, "You did," and then unless there's anything particular you need to buy or anything weird. Other than that, I try to save fantasy shopping for the weird stuff. So
I'm like interested in talking to Mafira at some point, and I do want a short sword, but that doesn't have to happen tonight.
okay, yeah,
I can just get like a short sword
Mafira's
and then-
prices are definitely above the norm. So anything from her shop it's always like custom shit. People that try to get their stuff enchanted or want to buy like a base sword to have somebody else enchant it, like that's where they would go. Like this lady is regionally probably the best metalsmith in the area, and that includes like Daggerford. So yeah, she definitely has
think I
a
would-
reputation for it, but she also has a bad reputation among the dwarves. And I don't know how Thogrim falls on that certain political issue. But yeah, like a lot of people feel that her shop and her practices are disrespectful to dwarven culture.
What is she again? What race is she?
She is a Chultan human.
And she just
So
does like
so
tries to-
basically like Wakandan. Like Chult is Wakanda. So if you're
do dwarven
yeah,
smithing or
without
whatever,
all
she-
without all the cool science. They replace all the cool science with dinosaurs. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay,
Well,
we
should
sell the
we,
stuff. Everyone gets 66 gold, 42 silver, and 4 copper.
All right.
What?
Say that
Really?
one more time.
66 gold, 42 silver, 4 copper.
We each get that?
Yeah.
I just read chat. Like, you want me to punch her? What? What are you guys talking about?
Weird joking.
I can't believe I've let you guys cross this bridge numerous times and not mentioned this yet. So Tari and Alleria and Haxle, they're the big bridge, location number 10 that connects the two parts of Saltmarsh together. It's called Sharkfin Bridge. And the bridge itself is quite lovely. It is like a natural stone arch that is reinforced with dwarven masonry and decorated with many gardens and plants and things like that. There are buildings on the bridge as well, on both sides of the bridge, which is pretty cool. But yeah, elves and people with elven blood and fey heritage always feel vaguely nauseated when they cross the bridge because there was an ancient curse placed on the bridge long ago. So no gameplay mechanics for it, but I just thought it was kind of neat. I was remiss in having not mentioned it to you guys. So
It's a cool bridge.
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome looking.
All right. Well, should we meet up with Haxle and?
All right, so you guys
That
head back
sounds-
to your apparently your favorite place in all of Saltmarsh, the Empty Net. Yeah, you kind of pick your path through beggars and workers of the night persuasion who are sleeping off the efforts of last night. And during the day, the place looks almost like a haunted house made out of broken ships. It is even worse, I think, than at night, because at night it at least has some life to it. During the day, it just looks really sad. But yeah, as you approach, you see the sign on the door says closed, and you see a mousy-looking teenager out front trying his best to make things look not so terrible. As you approach, he recognizes Tari and also Skull, and kind of waves at you.
I wave back.
Mhm.
didn't catch your name this morning. I'm Tyree.
Oh, I'm Mouse.
Oh, sorry, Mouse. I thought you meant the young man.
Yeah,
I thought they were separate people.
nope, I'm the same guy that was inside
Cool.
keeping track of
Mouse.
everything. Yeah, I do a lot. Now I'm cleaning the outside because I got done cleaning the inside. It really helped that that big black thing ate most of the barf. So I could definitely use his help. If you want to bring him around tomorrow morning, he's welcome to eat as much barf and shit as he wants.
I'll let you handle that one, Alleria.
Oh, that's going to be a no.
No for me,
Well,
dog.
I mean, it'd go a long way towards filling up that big belly. Is all I'm saying. So.
I think I've got that handled. Thank you. I don't want to feed him barf. That's disgusting.
Well, I'll take care of the barf. He could just eat all the shit.
Yeah, definitely not.
Oh,
No.
all right. Well, we're closed. We don't open until close to the sunset. But I think your buddy's inside.
Could we go see him?
Yeah, the nerdy one. It's always reading books.
Yes. Could we go in and see him?
Are we talking about the same person?
Let me
It's hard to say.
let me just ask. And he kind of leans in through the doors and he's like, Shanker, is it all right if if Haxle's, are you Haxle's friends?
Yes, we've been friends for such a long time.
Oh, is it okay if Haxle's friends come in even though we're closed? And Shanker's just like, yeah, fine. Yeah, fine. Fine. Let them in. Not that I think you could stop them if they wanted to come in, but, social necessity and all that shit. So, all right. Yeah, come in.
We come in.
All right.
Well,
Shanker is there. He's wearing a robe and his bunny slippers. He's smoking some sort of herbal component out of a glass pipe. The pipe is shaped like a shark. It's grinning smile matching his own as he kind of smokes out of the tip of the tail and makes little puffs, little cloud rings out of his mouth.
I like that pipe of yours. Where'd you get it? I like to smoke from time to time.
There's a glass worker in town. She does good work.
Well, if you could give me her name, I might want to visit her in the future.
Yeah, I mean, if you're smoking devil weed out of papers, you are just wasting your time.
Oh, what's devil weed? This sounds interesting.
Oh, my friend, you like the tobacco, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, this is like tobacco deluxe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could I have a smoke? Or I can, of course, pay too.
Oh, no, it's here. And he passes you this very delicate pipe.
Toothless takes a little drag.
Okay, yeah. You feel stronger.
Oh, God.
You do feel a little less wise. You feel like your perceptions are going to be diminished a bit if you were to smoke this.
He'll go for it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You feel this feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. You definitely feel stronger and more confident than usual. But you do feel less wise.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Your boy's sleeping in. I guess he's in the double. I mean, I don't serve like lunch, so I don't know what the fuck you guys are looking for. Like your friends in the double.
Yeah, we're on our way.
Well,
All right,
let's go find him.
Yeah, he's just smiling at you and like what is wrong with these people? Kind of smile, like just like I don't know.
I definitely smile back, like a very toothless smile, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know what we need to do? We need to get all your buddies to just cut loose one night, and really find themselves. Huh?
Oh yes, I agree. That would be a great night.
You know about the dream mist?
I don't.
Oh man. So there's just basically some roughly ground up leaves, right? It's from Mordain. Have you heard of Mordain? It's a super rare herb, yeah. So you take that and you make it into a tea, right? And if you breathe in the vapors from the tea and then you drink some of the tea, it's like a whole ritual, man. And then like, woo! Yeah. Things get pretty crazy. I would just say that shit will get spiritual very quickly.
Toothless looks at him with like kind of like a critical eye, and then he's like, "If you could help procure some of that for me, that'd be very interesting."
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hit me up tomorrow or the next time you're in, whichever is sooner. No, wait, tomorrow or yeah. Give me at least a day, I think is a better way of putting this, and I will set some aside for you.
Well, many thanks, human who smokes.
Now it's very important though that you limit yourself on that stuff, because dream mist will you seem like a nice crocodile, so I want you to know that too much too quick, you'll die. Just make sure you remember that. So
I appreciate it.
When I say it gets spiritual, it could get too spiritual, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, I got shit to do. I got books to keep and people to track down and so on and so forth. Information, blah, blah, blah. You know, businessman stuff.
All right. Let's go get Haxle. Let's
all right.
Get the hell out of here.
Haxle. I don't know if it's been 5 hours yet. Yeah. So there is a terrible pounding at the gates of your castle. Yeah, the Orcan horde is there. They have built battering rams out of the beautiful ancient oaks of your ancestors' forest, and they are beating down the gates to the Aldfair's homeland. It's bleak. By now, the bedbugs have eaten off most of your toes. So I'm not sure what you will do to stop them.
I'm gonna have to take off my clothes.
Okay. A good solution. Taking off your clothes, you can hear the bedbugs cry out, "No, he figured it out!" And they are balled up in your clothes as you throw them across the room.
I think Toothless will turn can if there's like enough space at the top of the stairs, and ideally the pony will come in first.
All right.
Can you just do a pony head? Yeah, you do half a wild.
So you're gonna turn to a pony and then go into his room?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay.
A mini pony, not like a real.
Oh, like little Sebastian? Like you're gonna turn into. Okay. Oh,
Rip.
little Sebastian. All right. So yeah, you turn to little Sebastian, a local celebrity, obviously, and yeah, you just kind of headbutt open that door. Haxle, the little Sebastian of Sword Coast fame, is in your room right now. He seems to have killed all of the orc raiders.
Yeah, and I kind of like neigh a little bit, or whatever a pony does.
Okay.
I look at the pony and I tell it, red hair is a mutation that every species has. Repeat that 3 times.
The pony tries to think about how to turn its hair red.
Alas, you had to choose that when you changed.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, Haxle's butt ass naked. In his room.
Oh, I'll go lick his like the pony will go over and lick his like butt.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Haxle, I'm not gonna lie. Feels good to have a clean butt.
Haxle screams, "You're not my real dad," and tries to fight.
right.
What the fuck is going on here? God help me.
Axel's blindly swinging around the room, like with no idea where the hell he.
You don't know where you are, but you know that your butt's clean. And that's the important
Alright.
part. And you know that this pony's not your real dad.
And the pony bows down to, and he bows down to you, Haxle, just to make sure that you're not like feeling, scared. So he's gonna kind of get on his front little hooves and bow down to you.
Okay.
All right. Haxle will get on the pony.
All right. The pony is again little Sebastian. So it is the equivalent of you riding like one of them power wheels. You know what I'm saying? That little kids used to have. One of those those 3-wheel trikes. So your knees are kind of up on either side. And yeah, you are now riding a miniature pony, naked with a clean butt. Cleansed of the bed bugs. Missing 10 toes.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I was gonna take Haxle out to the rest of the party, but I don't know how Haxle would feel about that. So I don't want him to feel,
Yeah,
like
Haxle, you're at the drugs get like stronger as they kind of reach the fulmination, right? So you're in like the Willy Wonka tunnel scene at this point of hallucinations. Like it's getting pretty wild. This is also, I'm assuming, your character's first time doing this particular substance, Baccaran. So it is a wild journey. You see angels and devils that somewhat resemble the people that you went to the house that crawls with. And they are sort of looming over you. Their beautiful angelic wings and bat-like wings spread wide, playing their harpsichord music. And it's very confusing. Through all of the windows, laser beams of bright light are just shining in, lighting the floor ablaze where they hit. But you know that little Sebastian will keep you safe as long as you stay mounted on your mighty steed. No evil can touch you.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Go. Only one. Go, Stoll, go.
Okay.
Just one question.
Fuck. Do I think I could sober him up by throwing him in the ocean?
Oof.
Am I familiar with that drug?
Are you trained in does anyone have training in herbalism or alchemy?
I have training with a poisoner's kit. I'm not a criminal.
A poisoner's kit.
Is
okay.
He's kind of like poisoned, isn't he?
Drugs are poisons, yes. So go ahead and give me a with intelligence as the modifier. Give me a poisoner's kit check.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, you recognize right away that he's under the effects of Baccaran, which is a powerful hallucinogen. You realize that throwing him in the water would be quite dangerous. He could drown.
Yeah.
He just has to. Yeah, he has to kind of ride this out, unless you have some effect that can remove poison. So any sort of like antitoxin might give him a chance to sort of shake it from his system, or any sort of spell that grants resistance to poison or immunities to poison, that sort of thing. For the most part, though, Skull, you know that you could take advantage of this hallucination and maybe try to guide him in the right direction.
Don't follow the dragon.
I scream like, "Get in the jolly boat! We're going to the Kraken's."
All right.
I'll tell them. I'll ask the party. I'll tell them that we need to. If anyone has something that can, the poison of the mind is too strong. Be sobered up.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're not going anywhere with him like this.
So Shanker looks up from his work. He has his readers on. He has his readers on, and he has his book out. He's still just dressed in his robe and his unicorn bunny slippers. And he just kind of looks over at you guys, and he looks down at Haxle on a pony that he didn't see come in. And he just looks at all of you, and he says, "Yeah, you guys need to leave. You know, I mean, I got work to do. I can't be having naked half elves riding around on, miniature ponies. Why couldn't you do this last night when we all could have made some money off of this shit?"
We'll be back.
This is the kind of like AAA entertainment that like we could maybe, I don't know, like make something of this fucking place. I didn't know that you guys were like performers. This is incredible.
I'm trying to hoist the mast here on this pony.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to
what?
hit him that hard. Based on everything I knew about the guy, I thought he was acclimated to this stuff. Yeah, just give him a lot of salt. You got some salty stuff, like some jerky. I don't know. The salt will pull the toxins out. Sure. I don't know. Just do it somewhere else.
Do we want to try to stay here, or do we want to head down to the jolly boat? I mean, he can ride on the pony, can't he? What do y'all think?
What time is it right now?
Yeah, so I would say at this point you're cruising into afternoon. So he's really only got about like 30 minutes left, and he'll be fine. But you're heading towards like 1 or 2 in the afternoon at this point.
Let's put some clothes on him.
Yeah, by the time we make it to the house, he should probably be good. I hope.
Oh yeah, for
While we
sure.
Plan everything out.
Okay. So Haxle, you ride naked like Lady Godiva on little Sebastian through the streets. It is a long ride to the to your jolly boat, which is way over by Alleria and Thogram's place, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so you do kind of sober up as you start to get closer to the docks, and you have that realization kind of coming down that like you're naked on a tiny little horse.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, and as you kind of come down from all this, your strength does lower by 1. Yeah. So whatever your normal number is, it goes down by 1. It's not permanent. But until you get some rest, yeah, your strength does go down from 1 because of the ordeal that you put your body through.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just kind of look around. Is everyone just staring at me? Like, what's happening?
I assume everybody is sort of keeping an eye on you, like you do with that like super drunk friend, but they're not. They're trying to play it cool. I mean, most people can't decide what to look at: your dinosaur, or the lizard folk, or the handsome naked half elf who's riding on a miniature pony. Either way, you guys are basically like a Mardi Gras parade, making your way through the town. So.
Yeah, I'll just go with it. I'm just gonna go with it.
No. I'm gonna hand you your clothes, please.
No, I'll play music for it. Also, I'll play like a. I mean, if this is gonna be a circus, then let's go full circus.
Oh sure, yeah, absolutely. All right,
I guess I'll do some hip thrusts and stuff. Well,
Oh goodness,
No!
children on the street. What is wrong with you people?
I definitely I'm playing my pan flute, and I definitely make some little trills there for comic effect during the the hip thrusts.
Yeah, so as you're making your way, there are people that that Thogrum and Alleria know pretty well, and Skull, and they kind of give you guys looks like they are a bit scandalized by the life that you are now leading. It's not the same life that you were leading last week.
No. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cold outside. Don't laugh at him.
And you do hear a familiar chuckle. The chuckle is very deep, like a man that eats 5 dozen eggs for breakfast.
Oh no.
Paimon.
No, I immediately put my clothes back on.
It just went in and up.
Oh,
This
what
is
a
the guy that
what a
likes to watch,
sight!
right?
What a sight to see! As I just finished having lunch with my beautiful wife, get ready to head back for a council meeting. Ah, what a absolute delight! I didn't know the festival had set up already. You must be the circus performers that work for the festival.
The advance guard.
It's good. I'm glad that you were able to find some employable work here in Saltmarsh, since you seem to have so much free time.
Yeah. We figured nightfall would be the most appropriate time to start.
Oh, of
because that's when
course. Yeah.
I see the signals.
What better way to while away the hours than advertising for the festival?
Precisely. They'll never see us coming.
Yeah. It's Professor Grubb have you on the payroll?
Not yet.
No, his name's not Professor Grubb. I keep messing this one up. Mr. Maggot. Ugh.
Was that like
I can't-
an of disgust? Does he like not?
No, this is just you guys being weird. Okay.
Haxle yells, "Come to the festival!" and then goes on and like looks down at the ground and watches.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
just
I'd
tip
love
my
to
cap,
stay
leave.
and chat, but council duties call. Okay. And as he leaves, you realize that you are walking past his house actually. And yeah, which is location 16 on the map. And I won't lie, it's a pretty posh place. It looks pretty
Looks
good.
massive.
Yeah, it is a large, it's a large complex, large mansion. And he has his own docks that are part of his property, where his fleet basically comes and goes from. So yeah, dude's got a pretty sweet setup. So it's like towards the end of like any Grand Theft Auto game where you're like, it's good to be this fucking rich and cool. That's kind of like where Prime Order's at. So, yeah. Like if there were helicopters, there'd be like a helicopter on the roof. Like that's where he's at. But he walks down the street just like everybody else. He's got no guards. He's got no escorts. He doesn't take a carriage. Just kind of heads on over to the. I mean, it's not very far. Like the council hall is just right over here, location 14. But yeah, he kind of waves you guys off and heads off on his own. All right, so you guys continue on to the docks. And you find your jolly boat. It was registered as the Lady Penumbrum of the Sea. What was it? What was it again? I'm sure
Jenny?
I'm not remembering that.
Jenny, yeah.
Jenny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jenny. Okay.
As soon as you get back to Jenny, Haxle just kind of looks around and says, "What the fuck just happened?"
There's like a pony munching on the grass nearby, I think, at this point.
Why was I naked riding a pony down the middle of Saltmarsh?
You didn't just ride a pony, you rode Toothless.
But
The pony
That's better.
The pony, the pony, he definitely, the pony winks at you for sure.
Yeah, Toothless or Haxle just kind of like looks away from the pony Like Finish is putting his clothing on and is just disgusted and ashamed of himself. Doesn't want to talk.
There's a muffled there's like a muffled honk, and as you look over, you see that Spencer has sort of waddled up to you, and he opens his Pac-Man mouth, and you see one of your hose or socks, I mean whatever your character wears, is just sort of laying on his tongue. He has picked it up for you. Yes,
Thank you for that.
Extremely wet.
Good boy, Spencer.
Oh, no.
All right. You realize quite quickly that you will not be able to fit all of you plus Spencer into the Jolly boat. Spencer is going to push the limits of this boat's potential. Now, he is an aquatic creature. He can certainly swim alongside the boat.
Yeah, I think I would have him do that.
Okay. All right. So you could even ride. He's a medium creature, but you're like a wood elf. I would say in the water, it certainly wouldn't be far-fetched for you to sort of like, hang on to him or ride on his back while he swims. On land, he's too awkward on land to allow you to kind of ride on his back. But in the water, I think that could work if you wanted to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
All
do
right.
that.
So you guys load up and embark. Yeah. Nobody asks you any questions about where you're going, because it's none of their fucking business. And you head on out. So I will need a perception check, a navigation check with a super low DC, and a water vehicles check, which I often will call a piloting check. So you need those three. Alleria, I'm also going to need you to throw in a survival check, because you do have a delicious ball of fatty meat floating in the water. So you're going to want to make sure you keep an eye out for predators
Okay.
that might want to come and take a chomp.
Can Toothless rely on his passive wisdom perception for the perception check?
Sure. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so yeah, these are great checks. So all we need is really low navigator's tools. Anybody trained in navigator's tools?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
All right, so as long as you guys are staying close to the shore, you'll be fine. If you guys intend to ever do anything out in the ocean, you are going to need somebody who is trained in navigator's tools. You may just hire an NPC to do that, but that is definitely something. If you are tracking like party potential, what we're good at, what we're not good at, that is definitely an area that you're going to want to either hire somebody for or find some magic solutions for that sort of thing. I mean, obviously, if you get a ship, you will have a crew, because ships actually have a minimum amount of people that are needed to run it. So, all right, good stuff. Yeah, with those checks and a ranger, yeah, you guys make it back to the house that crawls in 90 minutes. No sweat. So, do you guys want me to move you over to that map? I mean, we've been on this map pretty much the entire time, but if you wanted to just keep theater of the minding it, you certainly could, or you can kind of flex your miniatures a bit and sort of wander around the basement of the house. It's up to you.
So I'm gonna while we're traveling up there, I'm gonna pass everything I learned from Krebs on to the group.
Oh wow! All right.
About the captain and the Blood Bros cult, and that they have multiple drops along the coast, and that they smuggle some pretty rough stuff.
Okay. All right. So, when you arrive, I will tell you that a heated battle would take place against some giant crabs. Now, you guys are a party of 6 level 3s. that includes a moon druid and a beastmaster ranger. Now, if you'd really like to see how well you did against a bunch of giant crabs, we can totally have this combat. But I'm about to tell you that you would probably whoop their asses. The giant crabs were drawn here by all of the dead bodies that got left behind, and they have been scavenging pretty much the whole time you have been gone on those remains. Do you want to fight it out, or can I just assume that you just gun them down? Pass. Oh, okay. Anybody else really need to kill giant crabs? No. Okay.
good.
So, yeah. What?
Nah.
Was
I'm
that
good as in I don't
Anthony?
need to kill.
No, I'm fine.
Do we have to kill them? Can we just like fight them back and then give them the
Oh,
bodies?
like shoo them. Yeah, like shoo them away. Yeah. I mean, you know,
the
they're living
kidneys and the
creatures. They definitely don't want to die. And if you're willing to let them take the bodies, or even just throw the bodies out into the ocean for them, that would probably go over really well. So why don't we do it this way? Why don't we get a animal handling check with advantage from somebody?
I don't want to get rid of the female guard's body.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
makes sense.
This is the cave where you left all the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the pirates or smugglers.
Like Samblanet and all those other guys. This is where you left those people.
Does anybody have
Alleria.
animal handling? Or...
Yeah, Alleria, would you like to try and?
Can I assist her? Or...
Oh, it was with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So with a 23, you guys work together to sort of lure the crabs out of here, and you know, they sort of offer them up a few of the corpses as payment, essentially, for, you know, like crab tax, as it were, to get the hell out of here. Which they seem pretty happy about, because they much prefer to eat in the water anyways. So they blow bubbles of appreciation as they head back into the water. All right, cool. Well done. Yeah. So those are your giant crab friends. Adorable. So, all right. All in all, there were 6 of these giant crabs. So it's not that it would have been the easiest fight of your lives, but it definitely would have been one of the least interesting fights of your lives. So yeah, a much better solution. All right, which corpses do you offer up, or do you just get rid of all of them? Because, you know, corpse disposal.
Maybe all
I'd
except
try
the
and get rid
wizard.
of all of them.
Yeah, I would say all of them too.
Let me delete your extras. I don't want you to see yourselves and cause like a time
Funny.
paradox. So there we go.
Can I just quickly sketch the faces just in case anyone wants to disguise self and they need to memory
that's a
of
good
what they
idea.
look like?
The ones that still have faces, sure.
Yeah. Like, you know, Samblanet and, you know, like the
I'll just do a quick high-low on their faces. Let's see who's still got faces. So here we go.
Hey, would you mention that, Tari? Because if you do, Haxle would probably try and do it as
That was Alleria, actually.
well. Oh, well, okay. Well, would you mention?
Oh yeah, I would
Okay, so
probably
try
say
to
like
say.
just sketching them.
yeah, so boy hobgoblin, his face is still intact.
Okay.
And Samblanet,
Samblanet.
his face is still intact. The others are all pretty badly chewed up and stuff.
Okay.
So I'll just toss those into the ocean. Bloop. Okay.
So, what's the plan?
And the stink, by the way, in the cave is pretty gross from these bodies kind of stewing for the last 2 days, day and a half, day and a half, something like that. So,
do we know whether or not they do their drops at night? I'm assuming they do because of the lantern.
Yeah, the lantern's definitely the big clue that these things will happen at night.
And as someone who would try and do something secretly at night. How's the moon right now? Is it full? Is it kind of a new moon?
Yeah, hold on a sec. That is an excellent question. Let's see.
Don't worry, I've never smuggled things in real life. Honestly.
Sure, I believe you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Salune, aka the moon. Where you at, girl? Lunar phases. Oh yeah, I love how the world just runs on like clockwork. It's so nice. Yeah, so they get a full moon every 30 days. Sorry, every 30 days, 10 hours and 30 minutes. Great. That'll be easy to track.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I asked.
Oh no. It is important. Let's see. At least this world only has the one moon. Let's see.
When's the next super blood wolf moon?
Oh, that's funny you ask. Let's see. Those who practice lunar magic, which no longer exists, the phase of the moon affected the potency of their spells. Speaking of full moon, dipping the new moon. All right, cool. So let me just bring up your guys' calendar that I actually keep, and
I'm impressed.
yeah, the Forgotten Realms calendar is pretty nice because like every week is 10 days long, so they call a week a 10-day. And then there we go, moon calendar. And then there are 12 months in the year, and every month is exactly 30 days long. So every month is 3 10 days long, and there's no leap years, there's no funkadoodle spring forward or fall back or any of that nonsense. Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing. So we're gonna say that the full moon is actually waning right now. We're gonna go ahead and just set all the full moons to be on the 17th. And so for you guys right now, it is well past the 17th. So yeah, you guys are cruising into you're not all the way to new moon territory, but yeah, it is a waning moon, so it won't be super duper bright. I hope that answers the question.
That was great. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Well, should we try and signal a ship in?
Yeah, I say we bring, we call the ship, and then maybe we take the little boat here out to it with a couple swimmers, and we get somebody to disguise themselves as old Samblene, and maybe get ourselves on the boat.
I like it, dwarf who wears armor.
I mean, so we got to get off this jolly boat, up onto their boat, and then kill them all, or subdue them.
Yeah, I mean, how do we? That's the tricky part, is get into the boat without dying in the mean.
Yeah.
So
well, if we had people that could
prisoners.
swim, maybe they could climb up the other side while we create a diversion.
I'm sure that thing's got cannons, so what I'd like to do is not take some cannons to the boat before we even get on.
Yeah.
Do it
I wonder if
stealthily.
we'll have one trained on us too, because next time.
But if it's under the cover of nightfall, then they shouldn't know it's us. I mean, it should just seem like, a regular drop. Maybe we're bringing some people. I don't know. I mean,
No, I like that, and we can always approach stealthily if we can see how things go, I guess, but we can always try and be a little quiet.
I mean, our dragonborn friend here is a little shifty. Maybe he knows a better way. But Skull, you happen to be kind of shifty. What do you think, lad?
I'm worried that. First of all, do you guys have the disguise self spell? Is that
I do.
Okay.
I do.
All right. Hmm.
I'm a little worried that we don't have quite enough information to pass ourselves off as Samblonay convincingly, but
I mean, I don't think we'll have to
maybe
do
it'll
much
be enough.
under the cover of darkness. I mean, but I don't know. It just depends on the kind of folks they got on board that thing.
Is there?
How many people does it take to? You said crash to crew a ship. So
To crew a ship depends on the size of the ship. Gosh, if it was just like a single mast sailing ship, I believe you need 8 to 12, depending on the size and complexity of the ship.
I would maybe try to lure him in, and then maybe we could kind of sneak up on the ship. But if you all want to disguise yourselves, that sounds good too.
Are there any calls in that book that we can use to lure them in? Was that one of the lantern calls?
I think we know what the lantern, things are, right?
Yeah. Didn't you
Yeah, we
guys
do.
find the directions for them, and then you were able to pretty easily kind of discern what they were? I think I even shared them over with you. But hold on a sec. I can reshare them if you.
Yeah. What if we told them it was like time for a pickup or whatever? They'll like kind of like wait for us, and we like tried to sneak up to them.
I mean, you could have some of you guys in the water, if we can in fact lure them into the cove. Once we get them in the cove, then you guys can hop out of the water and we can spring the old trap.
Do we have those like what you call them? Fucking the ropes with the metal things on them?
grappling hook?
Grappling hooks.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so, but I mean, I can.
Yeah.
probably
So to reiterate, the passwords, or not the passwords, but the signals. There were only 3 recorded in his notes, and that was and I'll post them up into Discord. But it was long, short, short, short. Is it safe? And that will be initiated by the ship when it reaches its location, which you guys know is the Kraken's Teeth, which you know is south of the cave where you currently are. So you'd have to kind of keep an eye to the south. Now, Toothless has a phenomenal passive perception. But at night, if a lantern was being lit, the fact that he doesn't have dark vision or anything else like that wouldn't come into play. It wouldn't be any disadvantage. It'd be the only light in the darkness situation. So you're confident that he would probably see it without missing. The question is, there was no log or anything that kept track of when they were supposed to come by, if they do come by, what time they come by. So you're talking like police movie stakeout. Like Toothless, you'd pretty much, or whoever's on watch, would have to sit there all night and just wait to see if a signal gets cast. But essentially, the ship rolls up, makes that signal. Then you guys, or whoever is working here, would signal short, long, which is everything is safe. And then if they don't see that signal, Haxle, you're pretty sure that they would wait a certain amount of time. And if they didn't see a signal that said short, long, they would probably leave. Or if they saw any signal that was not the right signal, they would leave. Does that make sense? So they don't have a signal specifically for shit's hit the fan, get out of here. They would probably just, in desperation, just kind of flash it like crazy to let people know, oh, we've been had, or it's bad, or there's somebody trying to use the lantern to impersonate us. So that's probably why they only have the three codes, to keep it simple and also to sort of trip up anybody who would try to to try to cheat the system. And then the ship would say long, 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 which means we're ready to unload more goods. Come to the ship. So from what you understand, that means you would bring the jolly boat out there with minimal crew so that you could fit maximum cargo on it. Does all that make sense, Haxle?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so then you would then explain that to everybody else with your background as a smuggler.
All right. So the problem that we have, though, is we have to set up a watch, first of all, to keep an eye out for this stuff. We know where the Kraken's teeth are, so we can have a good direction of where to be looking. Yeah, but we could do a little rotation. Lookout rotation. But I still don't know. We just sail the boat out there and hope they don't blow us up.
Well, I don't think they'll attack us outright. I think we'll be able to get next to the ship. I think what's going to happen, I think you're going to have to disguise yourself as Samblene, and then Tari's going to have to disguise herself as probably that female hobgoblin, the one I was dancing with. And then you two go out there, and I guess maybe Thogrim can't disguise himself, but I don't think he's swimming all the way out there. And then Alleria,
put a blanket on him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he can hide in one of the barrels. Maybe, I don't know.
Put a tarp over him.
You could say that this one was bad. This whatever. We can hide him in a barrel, and you can say this barrel was bad. You need to take it and give us a new one, and then they'll do that. And then he's on the ship, so that's not problem solved.
Now keep in mind the Elven brandy barrels are roughly the size of like a 5-gallon water jug IRL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna eyeball everyone.
Yeah, but you could throw a tarp over them though. Yeah, that's that's not unbelievable, especially if Haxle, putting a tarp in the boat is just smart anyways, so that you have a better chance of not losing any of the cargo that you're going to load into the boat.
Yeah, and for protection and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Is this like also the universe where like a ship would have some kind of rigging to like pull a boat out of the water?
Oh yeah.
And put it on the ship? Okay.
Oh wow. A davit? Wait, so what are we gonna do with the giant draconic dude?
I imagine
You cut out.
So it turns out that I don't have disguise self, but I do have invisibility. Invisibility, so I could
make some fake chains. Along with the invisibility and disguise self, we can pretend like we're bringing a prisoner or something.
I also have invisibility, and disguise self is not a concentration spell. So I suppose we could each cast invisibility on someone and disguise self on ourselves.
I don't have disguise self, but I do have a disguise kit. But yeah, I also I'm a rather good swimmer, so I could do that, I suppose.
And I hear there are crocodiles in these waters. I'm happy to swim out there.
How would we get on the ship from the water?
So I guess the question I have is, how do they load these ships? Crap.
So a popular way of doing it, if you have a really nice setup, is you hoist the jolly boat up, and then you load the jolly boat, and then you lower it back down into the water. That way you don't risk damaging any of the goods. With a slipshod, shitty operation, you would obviously just chuck stuff into the water and then load it into the jolly boat from the water. Yeah. But, if they're dealing with like silks and stuff and, stuff like that and, powdered drugs and stuff like that, they're not going to want to risk tossing it into the water. So they probably are going to go to the effort of hauling the jolly boat up and out of the water so they could load it, safely.
Okay, so that makes more sense. So we just kind of get out there, we all hide and disguise self, and have them. Hopefully, they pull us up. Then we figure it out.
Yeah.
That sounds reasonable to me.
All right. Well, you have an entire week to revisit this plan or cement the plan if you'd like, because we are just about at time. But I can answer any other questions you guys might have based on your background and skills if you'd like to get a better idea of what you are dealing with and sort of getting your plan even more laid out. So Skull asked a good question about how many people does it take to crew a ship. So yeah, you could be dealing with 8 people. You could be dealing with 12 people. You could be dealing with more than that, because again, those are the minimum numbers to crew the ship. But most crews like to have that number and then that number again by half, so that they can basically have like a crew for nighttime, or just simply in case somebody gets hurt or killed, or something like that. They can kind of fill those ranks. So you could be dealing with 12 people, you could be dealing with 18 people. Yeah. So, and that is knowledge that you guys collectively would definitely have, coming from a coastal community and with your different backgrounds.
Plus all the snakes.
Haxle brought up cannons. Between Thogrum and Haxle and your knowledge that they have guns, could they also have cannons? Cannons, those two characters would explain to the rest of you, are basically like siege weapons, but guns. Which would be absolutely insane if they had those. Because they are very powerful. They are as powerful as a storm giant throwing a javelin, or a boulder. Just absolutely mind-bogglingly strong. So if her ship is outfitted with those, it's probably good that you're going to take her out this way, because other ships would be hard pressed to combat her otherwise, especially since, according to Haxel's information, she has a wizard on the payroll. So a lot of times all a wizard does in D&D sea battles is cast counterspell. That's all they do. They just stand there with their awesome perception checks and look for other people casting spells and counterspell it, because there is so much magic that tries to mess with ships. So that is one of the main things that a ship wizard does, is simply just try to defend the ship against magic. Yeah, so these people, they definitely sound like they know what they're doing. So you guys are going to want to bring every advantage, every surprise, you're going to want to know how you guys all work together, what your abilities are. This could be a very dangerous fight. And it could be so dangerous that the written adventure actually has a backup plan for what happens if it goes south. Because that's how dangerous this could be for you. So it is something to just sort of keep in mind. So definitely spend the week kind of reviewing your new level 3 abilities and your spells, and kind of coming up with what your plan is. Do you all go in the ship? Do you have one team that goes in by water and one team goes in by ship? What is your ultimate plan? Are you going to impersonate somebody? Who do you think's most likely to pull that off? These are all the things that you're going to want to solidify. So you're kind of having a little Ocean's 11 thing going on here, where you really want to make sure that your plan is pretty sound. Your daytime constituents, who are a bunch of criminals, they tried to murder somebody this morning, which is definitely off script, and it was the most it was like when you're watching a comedy and the characters, like a black comedy, not like a black comedy that has African American actors and it's a comedy, but like a dark humor comedy. And it was just everything that could go wrong with this murder went wrong, and they had planned everything so meticulously to murder this guy and it just was like the dice didn't cooperate. The guy that were trying to kill's dice were just hot as hell. It was awful. It was just a mess. So yeah, it's one of those things that keep that in mind.
Right,
That
you're
all the
breathing in your
planning,
mind pretty
in the
bad.
world, you still have to rely on dice. And you guys have people that can mitigate dice now. You have a lore bard, and Tari, are you doing glamour as your bard?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, and so you also have a source of insane amounts of bonus hit points because glamour bard. I'm not saying that they're the best
Greg,
because
you're breathing into your mic pretty hard.
Yeah, but yeah, they're pretty amazing. So you guys have two of the most powerful classes in D&D. And then Thogram's like the third best cleric. So I mean that you got that. So like yeah, and you got the best druid. Yeah, so it's good. It's good. You guys have a very strong party. So
I have a question.
yeah.
What's the deal with learning proficiencies for, like, if I want to learn how to use the guns and get proficient at them?
Okay, so the guns in this are just treated as martial weapons. So anybody that has training in martial weapons would have training in firearms. So if you don't have training in martial weapons, you would either need to multi-class into a class that has martial weapons, or I believe the firearms expert feat, which is something on the Google site for this campaign, allows you to gain proficiency with firearms, and so you can get it that way. And then there's also other feats that like give you weapon proficiencies and things like that. So unless you're getting it through your class, unless you're getting martial weapons through your class, you'd need to go with a feat or a multi-class.
Okay, so there's nothing special. It's just regular martial weapons.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you could take the extremely tempting dip into Hexblade, and I think Hexblade gets martial weapons or something crazy like that. I don't know what Hexblade doesn't get, honestly. Yeah, so that would solve a lot of problems if you're interested in firearms. But again, there's plenty of other cool things going on in the campaign besides firearms. So
More generally, if we wanted to learn proficiency in navigation tools, for example,
right,
what would be the mechanic for that?
So sometimes when you multi-class, they give you access to a proficiency, like a skill proficiency or a tool proficiency. Sometimes, not sometimes, you can take a feat called skilled, which gives you 3 skills of your choice. But it does use up your feet. Yeah, or tools. But it does use up your feet, so that's always tricky. Keep in mind that as bards, you guys are proficient in everything because of Jack of all trades. So you are proficient in every tool and every skill in the game. You're just not going to be like super great at it because you don't have actual proficiency or expertise. You have Jack of all trades, which would be half of your proficiency bonus. But whenever I ask, like, well, I only want a trained person to do this, you guys are bards. You're trained in every skill in the game because of Jack of all trades. So you
theoretically, I could be using that.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could get a set of navigator's tools and totally start, navigating if you wanted to. And if you, again, 2 bards, like Haxle could give you inspiration, somebody else could give you guidance. I mean, this is a very strong party. Like, it really is. You guys have a really nice like mix of classes and stuff. So you guys should be fine. Yeah, but the other way to do it is you can learn tools or languages by using your downtime, essentially. It usually takes about 10 weeks is the most recent rules for it. It's one of those things that sort of like working on your degree. It's better to declare it sooner than later. You know what I mean? So if you wanted to just say, whenever my character gets a chance, they're working on this. And then, maybe 10 weeks happens and I say, hey, it's been 10 weeks. You now know how to speak giant or whatever you were working on in the background. But if you never declare that you're working on something, you never learn anything.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's definitely something to think about.
Cool.
Right?
Is could my bonus proficiencies from Lore Bard be the tool?
Could be tools. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
They
Okay,
can't
cool.
be weapon proficiencies though, because that like if you
Right,
wanted
right.
to go if you want to go with weapons, they got Valor Bard and Sword Bard for those. So like, but yeah, for skills for Lore Bard, I would totally allow tool proficiencies.
Okay, cool.
All
I
right.
just only did my character 15 minutes before the thing, so I actually might talk about.
Well,
changing stuff.
I was remiss because I was like, man, I'm doing so good. I'm keeping on top of like XP every week, and everything's great. And then like I went to look at your guys' stuff, and I was like, why does it only say session 3? That's really weird. Yeah. So, my bad on that one. I wish I had given you guys a little bit more time. Fortunately, you didn't have to do any dangerous combats or anything that would have been affected by that. So yeah, if you wanted to tweak your level 3 level up before next week, you certainly can. Also keep that in mind because I did kind of spring it on you right before the session. So if you do need if you do need a little bit of respecking before then for level 3, that is fine.
Cool.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a great week. It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to some ship action next week. All right.
Awesome. Have
Same
a good
here.
one,
Yeah,
everyone.
me too. Later, guys.
Good night.
Have a good night.